and welcome to another episode of The Grindbin. I'm Mike Wood.
I'm Bobby Trippett.
I'm Julie Siegler.
And today we're talking about 1983's 2019 After the Fall of New York.
I want you to promise that when you leave here, you'll put me in a suitcase.
Hey, Bobby, I got the money.
Dad, I made the tea. But you're a hooker.
Get that goddamn thing out of your mouth.
I said it, knocker. I don't know.
Spooky ain't got no real rhythm.
We're
gonna play a little game, baby.
I just love fun and games. Get a little girl all hot and horny.
This is Los Angeles.
How the hell would women live? I'm horny. And maybe Daddy wouldn't have had to kill himself because he couldn't get it up anymore.
What a shame.
It's for jacking off. Come on, just step on the gas before we get cream.
So guys, we're here in 2019 talking about 2019.
Yeah.
Happy New Year. It's the apocalypse, y'all.
Yeah.
This is when the shit goes down, everybody.
It's just New York. It looks like this anyways. It's
Yeah.
fine.
Couldn't even tell.
But we thought, what better way to ring in 2019 than with the movie called 2019?
Yeah, starring Grindbin All-Star Michael Sopkiw.
It's our third venture with Michael Sopkiw. Means we're halfway through his entire body of work.
And we're in Bobby's all-time favorite genre of movie, Italian post-apocalyptic.
Abso-damn-lutely. It's my favorite. Spoiler alert. I fucking love this movie.
Of course you
I fucking
did.
love all of these movies.
It doesn't matter if it was bad or not. If it's
No.
Italian and it's in the apocalypse, Bobby gives it a thumbs up.
It's the best.
You could just have like 2 hours of just the set, and you'd be like, "Yep, I'm on board."
Oh, it's
That's all I need.
perfect. Just like
Slow
I
pan
just need
through
like
it.
a broken brick wall and some dude in a weird outfit
Yep.
sitting around.
Just slow pan through the whole apocalypse. You're good, man.
I'm happy. I'm in heaven.
So this movie, directed by Sergio Martino, who goes as Martin Dolman in this, because as we've gone through, you can't have as we say, a spaghetti name for the American
As you
audience.
say, Mike.
Yeah, as an Italian, I feel I'm okay to say that. He's also one of the three writers. He has 66 directing credits, including 1971's The Strange Vice of Mrs. Ward.
You got
That
it.
was a weird name, yeah.
Strange Vice Mr. Ward. It's a giallo.
Yeah, 1973, Torso.
Great movie.
1977, A Man Called Blade.
Haven't seen it.
1978, Slave of the Cannibal God. 1979, Screamers. 1979, Alligator.
Oh, Screamers, a.k.a. Island of the Fish Bed.
Yeah.
Hell of a
That's,
monster movie.
He also made Alligator, which is not a hell of a monster movie. It's, oof.
Oh, you bite your damn tongue. Dude, Robert Forster versus a giant puppet of an alligator?
Yeah, it's a real tentacles type of thing where it's just like nothing, something, nothing, nothing.
Well, Tentacles is my personal favorite episode, so I'm
your
going to
personal
say we
favorite
should go
movie.
for it.
When's the last time you've watched Alligator, Mike?
Once it was enough.
How long ago?
Like 2 years?
Okay.
When I was screening it for this show and went, fuck no.
Oh, man, you're so wrong. I don't know why I'm on this show.
1986, Hands of Steel. Now, that's a movie I had so much hope for because a man with a robot arm on the cover and everything. That is boring as shit. It is. I don't know. Have you seen that one, Bobby?
I have not seen that one yet.
Post-apocalypse.
I know.
Yeah.
I'm working my way through it. I just
is.
picked up a few. I haven't gotten to that one yet.
Man, what a great poster. What a bad movie. Ernesto Galstadi.
Can I read a quote real quick from Sergio
Yes,
Martino
go ahead,
about
please,
about
please.
his body of work? My movies are like a soft drink, sparkling, unaffected products for mass consumption. A soft drink doesn't have the prestige of champagne, of course, but I'd rather have a good soda pop than watered down wine anytime.
Wow. That's what he said to the critical response of Alligator. Yeah, you don't get it. I bet you don't even like Coke. So you're more of a Pepsi guy, I
This
see.
is soda. That's what he said.
That's it. So one of the
Cinematic LaCroix.
one of the other three writers is Ernesto Gastaldi. He was credited as Julian Barry. He has 123 writing credits, all of which are Italian movies, and a lot with Sergio as the director. So he's basically like his writing partner. Gabriele Rossini, screenplay, only credit, except for one other movie. I'm sorry, in 1983 called Iron Master, and that's it.
All right.
The cast, we don't need any introduction for the Blastfighter himself, Michael Sopkiw. Welcome back.
One of the greatest Grindbin All-Stars.
Oh, yeah. Him and Mark Gregory duking it out in the apocalypse, you know.
Hold on, I need a second to calm down.
2 names you met.
Is it hot in here?
Oh my
Is it-
god, I gotta take this jacket
hot
off.
in
You
here,
can't
right?
say shit like that here. We're in person, Mike. You're gonna have to see it.
There are 2 names that gets Bobby really excited on this show.
That gets me
Jacked as hell.
hashtag Rhino Hard,
Michael
aka jacked like hell.
Michael Sopkiw or Mark Gregory.
Oh God.
His two favorites. And when you saw Sopkiw was in a post-apocalyptic movie, you were like, yep.
I couldn't wait. Truth told, I imported a Region B Blu-ray of this film, having never seen it.
Wow.
You just knew.
I
It was
just
meant to
knew.
be.
Just know. And you loved it. So no, Michael Sopkiw, I believe we're almost through his body of work. We have Devilfish and I think one other, and that's about it.
And then we just have to go find him at work.
Yep. Or apparently he sells medical glass bottles or something like that.
Yeah, something like that. He sells like lab vials. I don't
Yeah.
know how that works. He's
Yeah.
making bongs. I don't know what this is.
He's doing important work.
Yeah,
And then Valentine Monier, I guess.
sounds
Is
good.
that?
Nailed it.
Giara, 10 credits. And guess what? She was also in Devilfish with Sopkiw.
Oh, man.
So yeah. Oh my God.
Kanakis.
Anna Kanakis. Urax Officer Anya.
Anya.
28 credits, all Italian. Warriors of the Wasteland, 1983. Bet you've seen that one.
Oh, yes, I definitely have.
Romano Pupo, who plays Ratchet.
Poopo.
Pupo. Pupo.
It's little poopo.
Yeah, he's Ratchet.
Ratchet, Grindbin All-Star.
Damn right he is.
For what, Bobby?
He's Trash's dad.
Yeah, Trash's dad, Mark
In
Gregory's
Escape
dad.
from the Bronx.
Yeah.
A number of people involved in this movie were also in Escape from the Bronx.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. But here's one who wasn't, but he's a Grindbin All-Star anyways. Edmund Purdom. Oh, my God. Don't Open Till Christmas in Pieces is in this movie.
Third appearance of Eddie Purdom.
And boy, does he look sick and tired of this movie. All right?
Getting too old for this shit.
It's almost like they added a point to his character to just be like, look, he keeps showing up looking like shit. We got to say something because the audience is going to be like, what is wrong with him? Eddie, you all right? And he's just like, just roll.
That's the president, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just roll, man. Just roll. Okay. Can we add like some sort of cancer line or something in this? 'Cause, and then Bobby, another Grindbin All-Star who knows Michael Sopkiw very well.
Absolutely. George Eastman.
George Eastman from Blastfighter and Bronx Warriors.
Playing Big Ape.
Big Ape. So you get George Eastman and you put a bunch of hair on his face.
So, yeah, these two, I feel they're destined to do this forever.
And I think you
Arch
said...
enemies.
Doing
Yeah.
this dance.
Yeah. And you said there's more Grindbin All-Stars?
There are more
I believe?
Grindbin All-Stars in smaller roles. We have the return of Ottaviano Dell'Acqua, who was a featured stunt/extra in Escape from the Bronx.
Oh, okay.
Also most famous for being the worm-eyed zombie from Lucio Fulci's Zombie. That famous poster art that's been everywhere. He shows up in this as just an uncredited Eurax soldier. And also, Angelo Ragusa is one of the flamethrower guys during the big fight,
Oh.
and he's a Grindbin All-Star from Raiders of Atlantis.
Oh.
He's the guy on the motorcycle who gets decapitated.
Oh, nice.
Ah.
You know, the guy with the mohawk who looks like one of the dreadnoughts from G.I. Joe.
Perfect.
He's running around with a flamethrower in this movie. So all told, I believe the count got to 7 Grindbin All-Stars to varying degrees of notoriety.
Wow.
This may be the most Grindbin All-Stars we've had in a movie.
So do you think that at the end of Escape from the Bronx, they just said, look, everybody, are you up for shooting another movie? Can you just hang around? Because we're just going to keep rolling on the next one.
Okay, we're gonna break for 3 hours while we switch this set over. You guys,
Yeah.
you guys ready to do this?
And then we'll just switch out Mark with Michael Sopkiw, you know?
Oh man, it's they're at the time clock. Morning, Mark. Hey, Michael.
So we get into the movie, guys, because I didn't find any trivia about this one. It's kind of, I think, a lesser known of the Italian.
Yeah, this one just kind of happened.
Yeah. I mean, they only made about 900 of these.
I know.
So,
We could have done a whole podcast just about these, and if you and I had never met, then I probably would have done it myself. The one bit of trivia I do have is that the weapons that the shock troopers are using
I had that
are
too.
the exact same future guns that they use in Barbarella.
Yeah, that's what somebody wrote on IMDb. They said, if they're not, they look really close. Yeah, and it's like, well, this
That's
guy...
legit.
He's
Yeah.
covering his ass.
This
in case
guy
he's
loves
wrong.
his Barbarella, apparently. He's watching it very closely.
Quite frankly, so does this guy.
So you think Sergio just went over to the Barbarella set and he's like, hey, Dino, can I have those weapons when you're done? And he's like, yeah, here
Do you
go,
think he
Sergio.
asked?
No, yeah. He's like, look, just take them over from there. So we get
Oh,
in-
I also have really quick.
Oh, yes.
The only other piece of trivia that I had is that it's filmed in like Rome, around parts of like the
Rome, New York.
Rome, and then also the only parts that were filmed in New York were the junkyard and the bus graveyard. Those are the only two scenes that actually take place in New York.
Everything
Wow.
else is Rome.
Yeah.
I can't believe they were even in New York.
I know. Like, did they fly
What
the whole
luck?
crew over? Like, I guess.
Absolutely not.
No, yeah, they're just like, hey, Michael, can you just go over with this guy in the camera? We'll get some stuff. But no, we get into the movie, right? And
Nice establishing shots of the remnants of a once proud model city.
yeah. Oh God, here's the thing: is we got a guy playing trumpet, right?
Yeah.
And he's like the narrator of this almost, although he never says a word.
Oh, by the way, the dialogue-less trumpet guy is a Grindbin all-star.
Oh, really?
Yes, he was one of the suicide bombers in Escape from the Bronx.
Perfect.
The guys who are handcuffed with the explosive strapped to them are running at the guards.
So instead of a vest on, they just gave him a trumpet.
Yep.
Yeah.
They're like, here you go.
And I love this part because it's that classic like Italian thing where they do where like you hear the soulful trumpet music over as you're going through this like student diorama of destroyed city, and then like as you pull back, oh, it turns out that sound was happening like in the movie. It's diegetic after all, like just like in the Bronx Warriors when the guy's playing the drums and the meetup. Like it's great. I love when they do that.
And I do like that all of a sudden there's a spaceship, and you're like, oh, 2019.
Yeah, we're in the future.
Yeah.
Where's my
And we have a
spaceship?
whole an opening monologue to set the stage. Do you guys have that?
Since the nuclear holocaust, 20 years have passed. The leader of the Eurax monarchy, the powerful Euro-Afro-Asian unity who pressed the fatal button, claims to have won the conflict. But planet Earth has been reduced to a garbage-strewn radioactive desert, inhabited by humans devoid of all hope for a future. Radiation could not have been worse. A few deformed creatures developed in the immediate post-war period. Then, nothing. For nearly 15 years now, not one human child has been born. New York City, a huge pile of waste and rubble, is under the control of a Eurax military force. With the help of mercenary hunters, the Eurax are, with deadly efficiency, steadily exterminating the locals, and using the healthy ones for every conceivable kind of genetic experiment, in a desperate attempt to find the key to survival, to the continuance of the human race.
Which, by the way, if you want to watch this movie, you can watch it for free on archive.org.
And it is
Archive.org is
great
great.
quality.
Yeah,
It
it's
is
a DVD
great.
rip of it. Apparently, whatever reason, the rights are out in the open, and you can just get it. So that's what happened. You can watch it right on archive.org. Because I don't know, you said there's a Region 2 Blu-ray, but
There
I don't
is.
think there's a release of it here.
There has
right
not been
now,
yet.
so-
There was a DVD. It's way out of print now.
And you can find that rip on archive.org.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Just
and
watch
I-
it for free that way. It's high quality.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you sent it to me, and I thought it was like some kind of like secret, like
think I was
like
sending you to some-
exclusive site
Some
that like
Pirate
only
Bay
you
bullshit
get.
that's going to give you a computer virus.
yeah,
This is
I
legit.
don't
No,
know. it was
archive.org is on the
real.
up and up.
It was good.
Which is also where you find Street Fighter. We did that
Yep.
off archive.org.
However, that is coming to Blu-ray finally.
Oh, well, there you go. Maybe you can't find it there anymore. Actually, I think that's one of those movies, like maybe with this movie, that there is no rights to it. It's just...
Because Street Fighter has
Public
appeared on
domain or
every
something.
like shitty 50 movie pack.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
like that's those DVD like Walmart box sets.
Yeah, it's like one of those ones that is, I think, like almost in public domain, where it's just like very, very cheap to get or just easily accessible.
Yeah.
So.
But now that Shout Factory is going to be putting out the Blu-ray, I'm sure they're going to be putting the kibosh
I'm
on that,
sure
popping
they
up
are.
everywhere else.
Now, here's the only problem is when you use the models, which look great, right? Except in high detail. Because you can tell that every model in New York City is a model. Because the Statue of Liberty we see looks like one you would get on like a train set or something. Because
This thing came right off a birthday cake.
I mean, seriously, it has no like any sort of like definition to it or
There's
anything.
still
It's just,
frosting on her feet.
yeah, it's pretty bad. And all the water around New York is just totally still and very reflective. And it's
There's a giant faucet in the background.
it's just some kid's school project.
But
And they're like, we can make a movie out of this.
what they've established in that opening monologue is that there was basically World War III. There was a nuclear holocaust. It's 20 years after that now.
Yeah, 20 years after. Let's remember that.
And the Euro-Afro-Asian unity pressed the fatal button
Yeah.
and won World War III and took over everything and rules with an iron fist. And now everything's a radioactive wasteland. Everything's my favorite kind of setting in a movie.
We've got mutants and a fertility crisis.
Yeah.
15 years since a human child's been born.
It's basically Children of Men.
Yeah.
It is. That's what I wrote too, yeah.
And my favorite part, humans are devoid of all hope for future. Yeah, it sounds about right.
Yeah.
And now New York City is controlled by men on horseback with
Yeah.
fencing style.
Oh, the horses are okay, thank God.
Whites on white horses.
No
man.
mutant horses, but they
No.
somehow. And this is when I wrote in my notes. I was like, what is the thing with all the Italian post-apocalyptic movies with fucking horseback? Like everybody's on horseback. The bad guys are always on horses in these.
They look
movies.
great. Horses are
it's
great.
a great image.
You got something wrong with horses?
And
I
you know
like
what?
horses.
No, it's just funny. It's like New York City's not known for the horse population.
Well, here's
as
the
soon as the apocalypse comes in, hey, bring in the horses.
Yeah.
Well,
Oh, and
because
they're
here's the thing.
perfectly
There's
black and
probably
white,
a
too.
gas crisis. So you're out on all motorized things.
Well, not in Nevada's. There's not. As we'll
Okay,
see.
fair enough. But you know what you could do though? You can feed people to a horse.
That's true.
What? You can't. What do you know about horses?
You can lead a horse to water, but you can't make them eat a person.
Feed a horse a person.
It's just like that part in Snatch when he's like, you got pigs in a dead body.
They even eat the bone.
Yeah, just like a horse.
Horses are way too picky for that.
No, he's like, you ever seen a horse eat an apple?
Yeah,
just
but-
like a man's head.
Yeah, in the future though, horses aren't just gonna wait around for apples, Julie.
Yeah.
They're gonna start snacking on ham.
They
No,
eat people's
horses
heads
are too
like
majestic
lollipops.
for that, you guys. They would never.
So what's their official name? Because I just call them the horse dudes
They're
throughout
the,
the whole movie.
No, I have it. It's the Eurax military force.
Yeah, it'll be horse
Yeah.
dudes for me.
All
so.
right, horse
They're
dudes.
wearing metal umpire masks and capes.
Yeah, they all look
They
like
look
they're
great.
They're ready to start fencing. You
It's
know,
perfect. And they were going around exterminating the weak and using the healthy for, quote, every conceivable kind of genetic experimentation.
Because
Great.
they're trying to get fertility back. Because it's a very children of men scenario.
Okay, now here's the
Alfonso
thing.
Cuarón, you hack.
Love it. Now here's the thing about this movie is they're trying so hard to get fertility back, yet every single person in the apocalypse knows of a fertile woman. But nobody cares to even go see her, and people know where she is. That's the thing is people are like, oh no, the fertile lady? Oh yeah, you never heard about her? Oh man, you just got to take a left over there, you're good.
But
It's
you know
just
what?
like-
It's not as exciting as you think. I've been there.
Yeah, it's just,
You know,
Okay,
you got
my
one
theory-
booth and you buy a postcard.
My theory about this whole thing is that they're all blaming it on like the women are infertile. My theory is that it's actually the men.
Oh.
The men are all shooting
The
blanks.
men are all shooting blanks. The ladies are fine. They're blaming it on the ladies.
You know, it
but-
could be
That is
because if it's
exactly what would happen.
radioactive. Yeah. The sperm no good anymore, so.
Yeah.
That's
No
what this
good no
movie's
more.
original title was. The sperm no good anymore.
Sperm no good no more.
It's called Sperm No Good.
So no, what happens is
They give
the horse dudes, right?
They're asking for volunteers from the populace.
Yeah, they
for
also
genetic
go-
experimentation. They say the deadline is 6:30, which means in 30 seconds the hunters are going to begin disinfestation. Which, if you saw Escape the Bronx,
It's the same thing.
Yep.
But this time they don't go, you got to move to New Mexico. They're just like, we're going to kill your ass. And so they just go, and it's time. And then, by the way, all the people that are here, they don't do shit. They just all stand around there like, are they
Yeah,
for
all the
real?
mutant-
what the fuck you talking about?
Yeah. They
The
got
Bronx
like
warriors of this world they all have like scabs
Yeah,
and like
Yeah,
Party
some nasty
City
makeup.
wounds on their faces.
definitely. Yeah.
And then all of the people who come to do the extermination, they all have like Batman's crossbow. It's like the bat bow. You notice that?
It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
And flamethrowers.
And flamethrowers.
Yeah, and I put fire, boom, bang. Lots of
Oh yeah,
destruction.
because the time runs out for volunteers, and the leader of the horsemen goes, "The hunt is open," and
Yeah.
then in run the dreadnoks, their flamethrowers and their nail bats.
And I write, the mutant citizens just kind of wait for death.
And at this
They're
point,
like,
I'm like,
"All right."
trash
They
is gonna
hide
ride in, right?
a little bit, kind of.
Yeah,
They
they're like,
don't.
yeah. Some of them run. Some are
of
just
them
like,
yeah, a boy and a girl run like into like the horse people with the ray guns, and they shoot the girl. Like Diego Luna shoots the girl. Did you see that? It looked just like him. Yeah.
it's his character from Rogue One.
It's like Cassian. No.
And so then, yeah, there's a man on fire. All right, that's in every Italian post-apocalypse
Same
movie,
guy.
too, by the way. Yeah, always a guy on fire. You know,
Just that one dude.
that's how you know you've walked in the right movie. You go, oh no, I got it.
I
So-
write that they lit Scarface Santa on fire. He must have had a beard or something. I don't remember.
and he's just kind of laid by the stairs, and people are like, "Do we run?" Or, it sucks, anyways. Who cares if you get hunted and killed? It's just like we're starting out real strong, guys. It's like everybody really cares that they're in the apocalypse, or they don't.
I
They
have
just
said
don't
this
care.
so many times in discussions about zombie movies and apocalypse movies. Like, I don't want to live there. Like,
Yeah.
I wouldn't try that hard to survive in the apocalypse. It's not
So
my
instead of
jam.
offing themselves, they're like, "Yeah, well, finally
Yeah.
somebody's here to do it." You know?
Yeah.
If I can't be comfortable, it's not worth it.
If your shoes are too tight, you're done.
Yes, I'm out.
And like you're too afraid to do it yourself, so you're like, well, the horse dudes are here. We'll take care of it today.
Yeah, there we
Bye,
go.
everybody. It was nice to know you.
You're just running out in front of the horse guy. Hey, you big pussy! Hold your arms out like, do it!
Feed me to the horses.
Feed me to the horse.
It's how I want to go.
I want to be an apple.
I would have really loved it if the horse ate a man's head like an apple.
Just
that would
crunch.
have been fucking
But
great.
they wouldn't.
Once those horses get a taste for man meat, you don't know. So we go to the Nevada desert now.
Yeah.
The same day, apparently, right?
Currently with this, we're playing Twisted Metal.
Yeah.
This is so great.
It's exactly what I wrote. It is. It's Twisted Metal, but starring Sopkiw. And they go, all right, level start.
Yep.
And it's him and another guy. Now they call it, quote, the Nevada race. Okay. But it's just two cars
guys.
in a destruction derby. There is no race.
Yeah.
There's no fucking race.
It is not
They're
a race.
just
No.
going around hitting each
Frankenstein
other.
is not here.
Yeah.
There is not a race. It is literally Twisted Metal. We're doing gladiator fighting with like souped up cars that have rocket launchers and machine guns.
It's almost like they're like, and we're going to have this big race and everything. And then they showed up set. They go, where are the other cars? And they're like, well, you only gave us like 10 grand. You got
I feel
two
like
cars.
there was a race, and then
Yeah.
Roger Corman made a phone call.
God
And they're
damn
like,
it.
we can't make it a race. We're not allowed to make it a race.
So there's actually only 5 guys in the race because Sopkiw is one racer in one car, and then
Yeah.
there's 4 guys, the pirates or something, in the other car.
Yeah, they refer to them as
The pirates.
For some
And-
reason, there's 5 guys, 4 guys in a car
Which if
just
you're in a
piled
Yeah,
up.
race,
here come the
like,
boys.
that weight distribution is not going to help you. Like, you want to lose weight in a race. Like, if we're packing 4 guys in these giant, like, they have these helmets, like a knight's helmet and motorcycle helmets. Like, where did you find a knight's helmet in the apocalypse? It's hard enough to find one now.
Well, it's like we said, we've talked about this a few times. When the apocalypse hits, everybody's raiding every antique store and sports goods store, and that's just where they're getting all their shit.
Yeah.
It's like
Yeah.
hockey
Well, they look good.
sticks,
Yeah,
you know,
you look
night
fucking
masks.
awesome.
Yeah.
You're wearing catcher's masks and capes.
And all like that Sephora is just fucking
Oh,
cleared out.
it's cleared.
Like that's the first thing people go,
Yeah.
give me all the hair dye you can get.
Hair dye and eye makeup. That's all it's about.
Yes.
Nothing else matters.
And some guys are there, he's like, they took all the red. Oh fuck, I'm gonna have to go with blue. Damn it.
Yeah. Well, everyone knows to survive in an apocalyptic wasteland, you need to be fierce.
Oh yeah.
Here's like a Bratz doll.
You gotta get a smoky eye, you gotta get all
Yeah.
sorts of stuff.
Full on.
So Michael Sopkiw is racing by himself against 4 guys in one
Yeah,
car.
these dudes in this car, they're looking like the opening credits to that 2010 show. They're just hanging out, like in their demolition derby car.
And so here's the thing that happens is the quote race happens, right? But then Sopkiw loses because he gets his car pushed off a cliff and somehow
they flip his car and they shove it off a cliff. It explodes, and then he just pops up into frame like, haha!
Somehow he wasn't
Yeah.
in the car, and then he just starts fighting them
I guess
by
he
hand.
rolled
Yeah,
out
it's
at
like
one
a
point.
race to the death.
Which
You
I
gotta-
got really upset because I'm like, there are no rules to this race
No.
because you don't have to be in the car, and all of a sudden he's
Well,
punching
'cause the
people.
thing is, it's like you said, it's not a race. It's gladiator combat.
To the
you
death.
go until one guy's left.
Like I'm just waiting for the finish line. Like, where's the fucking guy with the flag? You know what I mean? Where's the finish line? It's a
There's no
race.
guy.
And long ago, somebody left with the cup.
Look,
But he's going the distance.
they didn't call it a match; they called it a race.
Yeah.
See, that's
it's
how
a
they get ya.
race to be the last to die.
It's a race to the sweet release of death.
His name, by the way, Sopkiw's character's name is Parzival.
Yeah.
Which immediately,
Wow.
yeah. Ernest Klein, you hack.
Yeah, but that's
I know he
that's
got it
accurate.
from here.
Uh,
Had to have.
But no, I just called him Sopkiw for the whole movie.
Okay.
Of course, of
Uh,
course. But yeah, Sopkiw gets in this fight and he throws a dude off a cliff, and we get a sweet dummy drop.
Yeah, and I'm just keep writing in my notes again. How is this a race?
Yeah.
I just get really upset about
He
this.
turns and impales another guy out of a car.
Yeah, the demo derby part was great. I actually really
Yeah.
It reminded me of growing up in Wisconsin, going to the demo derby at the town fair every year.
Watching Sopkiw kill some dudes.
Which, by the way, don't know if you shared this with the listeners, but you basically live where Bloodhook was.
Oh, yeah, no,
Yeah.
Bloodhook. You know the giant fish in Bloodhook?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Listeners, by the way, I've been to that fish.
You've
I've
competed.
been to that muskie.
At Muskie Days.
Yeah, I've been to muskie days.
How'd you
That's
place?
It's a
awesome.
real thing.
Did you come in third?
I don't compete.
Did you
You
bring
dominate.
that big ass lore like everybody has? Like,
Yeah, they sell those in
Yeah.
like every
That-
bait
that
shop.
big
I don't
marital
know.
aid
You guys
everyone's
were
throwing
like
in the
acting
water?
like it was so weird.
It's not weird at all.
you're just screaming at your phone, going, "No, you don't know. You've never been to Muskie Days."
By the
part
way,
of our
Julie,
culture.
back me up on this. Deer shining, it's a thing.
Oh, totally a thing.
Thank you.
It's what you do on
I'm
dates.
sorry, what?
Deer shining on dates. You go out and you shine flashlights at the deer.
Yeah, so you can see their shiny eyes.
Huh?
Yeah.
I didn't even remember.
I mean,
this
not
getting
that
brought
I
up.
dated, but that's what I would have done if I was attractive.
If you weren't a Wisconsin 3.
So Sopkiw wins, right? I do love this though. After he wins the race, some random extra comes up to him and they 80-yard the line where she goes, "Take me to bed, multiple times."
So loud.
I'm so tired.
I
Take
was
me
like,
to bed.
God damn. Like,
I mean, I get it.
you don't need to try that hard. you
Hey,
know?
that
Yeah.
Sopkiw's a snack.
That
Yeah,
was-
he is. He's a pistol packing, like puffy shirted, post-apocalyptic pirate rogue. Like,
That's a lot of peas.
I
And
know,
Bobby's
I
just
like
screaming,
that.
"Take me to bed, take me to bed" at the TV.
Julie knows what I'm talking about.
oh, I'm on board.
We're,
This whole
sitting,
movie.
we're nodding at each other and high-fiving like, yeah, this guy's not a snack. He's a whole damn meal. I'd feed him to my horse.
Bobby's sitting in front of his TV yelling, "Take me to bed," along with the extra. And your wife just walks out. And you're like, "Yeah, I'm watching the movie." So then
She's like,
"Sopkiw
I just
again."
got home. I'm like, yeah, so did I. Look at this guy.
So that explains why you walk around to the Blastfighter theme now.
Yeah.
You just play it all the time.
Absolutely.
So apparently, when you win this race, some clown robot.
Oh, it's insanely
It's horrifying.
scary.
I'd rather die in the race.
It's got a child's voice and an eyeball hat.
Yeah, and it's just, man.
and it keeps repeating, to the victor, long life and happiness. To the victor, long life and happiness.
To the victor, long life and happiness. To the victor, long life and happiness.
The prize is apparently a card that you put into
Yeah.
the clown. So somebody hands Sopkiw
Yeah.
a card, like
they
a
give
credit
him like
card.
a Visa gift card,
Yeah, and then he uses it immediately,
jams it in this clown robot,
Yeah.
and he gets to pick his prize.
which he just picks out a bunch of chocolate foil coins.
They're licensed to kill, apparently.
Well,
Yeah.
we find that out. He gets these 3 coins, to redeem 1 murder. Or what have you.
Yeah.
And he also chooses, there's like a video dating app on this clown, because you get this woman named Flower.
Yeah, they're like, do you want a wife with your coins? He gets to choose.
It's
He
like a
just chooses
slave.
the first lady.
Yeah, he
Just-
doesn't
Yeah.
care. I
Yeah,
assume
whatever.
there's other options, but
Yeah.
yeah, there's...
Well, that's why the one lady was like, "Please take me to bed, please pick me." And then, she didn't get her pitch in.
She's
strong
new
enough.
here. She's
Yeah.
not on the clown yet.
Yeah. So apparently he just picks the first one because he's like, "We got to get this movie rolling here."
He's like, I got
All right.
other shit to do right now. Yeah, well, you're fine.
Give me my chocolate coins and we're fine.
Yeah, so then I guess he takes this woman who's a slave or something like that.
Yeah,
and
he wins her as his sex slave.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so then now we're on what I thought was a motorcycle. And I was like, this can't get any better. Like,
Right?
like this is, oh my God, he's on a motorcycle now?
I don't
and
even
then
need Blue Chew.
it pans out and it's a 3-wheeler.
It's a fucking big wheel.
Oh,
and I was
boy.
like, all respect lost. He's like just
Now
an
you
uncle
look like
now.
a fucking dork.
It's all the danger, none of the cool. Like it's like
That's how they market that.
Yeah,
You
it's
expect
the
him to
danger,
start
none of the
wearing
cool.
like waist-high pants at some
Yeah,
point. You
and
know,
a
he's got the
high-vis
belt on.
vest.
Yeah.
He's got his polo tucked into his khakis.
Yeah, and they're like, you don't need to
on.
tuck it in. It looks fine. Oh, God.
Are those Crocs? Sopkiw.
oh my God.
Come on.
Yeah, the 3-wheeler I was losing interest.
And
And they pass by a bunch of dead cyborgs.
oh yeah, well here's the thing. Also, is like his wife's all about it. She's like, dude, yes, I got the Sopkiw prize. She's like, well, the prize, I got the prize. You know, she's all excited about it, and he's just like not about it. He's like, whatever, just get on a motorcycle.
Yeah, she's laying it on pretty thick.
Although she was like,
Well, he's her ticket out of there.
Yeah.
Well, she did say, she goes, oh, 3 wheels.
Did you keep the receipt?
Shit. So
But
then,
yeah, they pass by some horses and some dead dudes laying on the ground.
oh, and I love that
Yeah.
the lady goes, she says, this is what she says. She goes, oh, I know those are androids and not humans. Why? Because I tried to fuck one.
Yeah.
It's like, okay.
Yeah.
And Sopkiw's just like, he goes, I know the creep that built them. And I'm like,
One
I
of his
wonder-
3 lines in the
What a weird bit of one-up.
wonder-
I fucked that robot. I fucked the guy who made that robot.
I'm like, are we going to expand upon this?
Yeah.
Or no, forget it.
That's the hand over the bat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, that you've won.
But then-
you know, when you're choking up on the bat, see who goes first.
But then for no reason, a spaceship shows up and it goes, Sopkiw,
batteries
calling all
not included
Sopkiws.
thing. And yeah, we request a meeting with Michael Sopkiw.
No, wait, you skipped over the part. So he uses his license to kill.
Oh, well, that's coming up.
Because that's before that.
Oh, okay.
Because the guys who are like so they come up to the guys with horses, and I was like,
Yeah.
horses, you're gonna get Sopkiw on a horse, I'm back in. Anyway,
Yeah, right?
But there's these guys, and they're like dying, and they're like barfing out this like green goo or
Oh, yeah.
whatever, and so he uses his license
Yeah.
to kill to mercy kill them because they're dying because they drank toxic water. And it's a very like Troll 2 situation.
And they're like spitting up Nickelodeon slime.
Yeah, Nickelodeon slime. It's all.
And
yeah.
I was just very like, well, that's a waste of the chocolate coins. I mean, come on, use them right away.
No,
Yeah.
he does it for a reason because since he throws that down, it now buys him the right to loot these bodies.
Yeah. So
Oh,
he
that's
loots
right.
the
Yeah, he does
bodies,
that.
and
And
then he gives
He
Flower.
throws one to Flower.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
'Cause
says,
he also
"You're free
says-
now, Genie."
Yeah, they
'Cause
can
he
also
doesn't
be
need
used
that.
as. So a license to kill is also a license for freedom.
It's a license for life.
Whatever you want,
So
right?
he buys out the slave.
Well,
Yeah.
he has killed sex slave Flower, and she is reborn as just Flower.
Yeah.
And she's like,
And
okay,
she rides
thanks.
off into the desert on one of those horses.
Yeah, because she was like, I don't want to be with the 3-wheeler guy. So bye.
And that's yeah. And right before this was when like you said, the flying craft came by.
Well, because
and
they try and call him, they're like, Sopkiw, Sopkiw. He goes, no. And
Yeah,
that's it.
and-
the
and
whole
the
scene, he
voice-
just goes, no.
And if you want to drop this in so people can compare this, I'm pretty sure the voiceover for this guy is the narrator from G.I. Joe. You know, the now back to G.I. Joe.
It's either him or Welker. That's about it, you know?
same, right?
So then, Sopkiw, all of a sudden he's shot by a ray gun, and the spaceship dudes are like, well, we're still here, and we're going to bring you to a miniature set in the snow.
Yeah, he
In
wakes up on Hoth.
Alaska.
Yeah. Yeah, I did write Hoth. Yeah.
But yeah, we do
It's
find
like
out that
Rebel
it's
Base.
a base in Alaska.
It looks
Yeah.
just like a Star Trek original series set, by the way.
Yeah. And then, our boy Edmund, right?
Eddie Pridham.
He's real sick, right? But he still showed up
Not
for
looking
it.
good.
He's
looking
a trooper,
rough.
man.
Looking
You know?
rougher than Flower.
He had horrible food poisoning, but he still showed up to set, and he's getting through his scenes, just barely. And he's like, look, there's this fertile lady in New York City, so bring her back here, and we can harvest her eggs. And Sopkiw...
And he's like, well, hold on. One fertile woman's not enough to repopulate. And he says, that's where you're wrong, kiddo. 'Cause,
Yeah.
if she's young, she can produce 500 eggs.
well, I mean, yeah, in a lifetime, I guess.
Yeah.
But...
That's 500 people we can make.
which, by the way, I don't know if you heard the details of it later, that apparently their plan is take out all the eggs, put them under glass, and fertilize them.
Yeah.
Which I was like, I don't want to know how that works. Like, they're just like, all right, Sopkiw, go. Like, can I get a magazine? Or just go, man, go.
No, fuck this table.
I also have to mention too, but in this scene, as they're talking about it, they're talking about robots for some reason, like about
Well, he
about
asks,
those.
why don't you just use a cyborg?
Yeah, and
Yeah.
but they say robots.
Yeah.
Robots.
Yeah.
Robots, which is
"Yeah,
hilarious.
those
That's how my
robots."
dad says robot.
Aw. Oh, this is
Those
future Wisconsin.
Robots.
So,
But I love when he asks, hey, why don't you just get a fucking cyborg? Eddie Purdham's like, stop talking nonsense.
Yeah.
Because that's the ridiculous thing so far.
But he
They're
also
gonna
says,
send
he's
a
like,
robot?
yeah, also, we need a man, because we need to, like, fertilize
We need
them
man's
eggs.
adaptability
Yeah.
to situations.
And he also so he goes, all right, well, what do I get? And he goes, well, you'll get a ticket on a spaceship to this new planet.
Because
where we're
Earth
gonna,
is fucked.
Yeah, we're gonna start Earth 2, and you can be the guy who procreates.
And
You
there's
know,
only so many seats on there. You could be the the designated dick.
And it goes,
look for the new Earth.
we've been talking,
No,
by
that
the way.
ship's full of dicks, though. Like,
Yeah.
who
He
else
goes-
are gonna let on the thing?
Well, he goes, we've been passing around headshots, and we picked you. We like the look, and we're like, if there's gonna be a new race, we figure we'll start with Sopkiw. You know, because
So
everybody's
he's
gonna be
like-
looking.
And he's like, well, what if I don't want to do it? And they're like, then we'll just kill you right now.
It's
this
almost
isn't a
like Edmund's like,
negotiation.
but that's the movie. He's supposed to.
Yeah. He's like, what do you mean if you don't want to do it? That's why we're here.
Sergio, hello.
He's going off script. And so he's like, well, I'm going to need some weapons or something. He's like, oh, no laser pistols. All you're going to have is your wits and these two gentlemen.
Yeah. As I write,
and
join
then walk.
the party.
I write-
It's like when they introduced Scorpion and Sub-Zero. It's like when they introduced Toka and Razor.
For
These
me-
two characters.
For me, it's eye patch and claw hand.
Yeah.
Oh, I
That's what I
wrote hairline and patch.
Oh, I just have their names. Because their names are Bronx and Ratchet.
Yeah.
Okay.
They each have
Yeah.
code names like G.I. Joe.
It was a little confusing because Bronx, the guy that has
the
the
claw
claw
hand. He's
hand,
got the claw
is
hand.
not
thing.
named Ratchet, which
Yeah,
you'd think he would be.
That's exactly where I wrote eye
It would
patch
make
and
so
claw.
much more sense. But yeah, they give the little backstory. It's a cool rundown, like you're introducing characters on a cartoon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's like, this is Bronx because his mind's a veritable map of New York City. And he pulls up his Dr. Claw hand. And he goes, yeah, the Eurax massacred his whole family and made him watch.
Yeah.
So that's
Wait.
his backstory.
So that's what he said, that they massacred his whole family?
Yeah, his family
Because
got massacred
We're
in
gonna
front of
get
him by
into
the
that
Eurax.
story that makes no
That's
fucking
what
sense.
they said.
Yeah.
And then Ratchet's the strongest man in the new Confederacy.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
he's got an eye patch and he's got some silver balls.
And Sopkiw immediately looks at them and goes, are these guys getting reserved seats too? on that spaceship. Like that was his main concern. Is like,
Well,
am I gonna have to go with these
competition.
jokers? You know. And all right, I mean, I get it. If you're gonna create a new race, Eye Patch and Clawhand, you know, not the first choices. I'd be like, damaged goods. So no, the Sopkiw gang now they ride to New York City, right?
Yeah, it's great because it's like an RPG, and now your party has expanded.
Exactly.
Like-
And so you finally
your
made
tank.
it to New York City, and they pull up to the Trumpet Man, who's your NPC at this point.
Yeah.
Right. And
he's
he goes,
he's gonna tell you what the next mission is.
he goes, "You're going into New York City? You're crazy."
And he's got he's got a tight 5, which is great. He's like, they baked the Big Apple.
yeah, he's like, I'm
Yeah.
getting out
That
all
Trumpet
getting
guy.
out
And
all
the
the
Bronx
lines.
family was killed there, you guys. That's too soon. Well,
Yeah,
we
so
didn't
apparently
know, so-
Clawhand lost his whole family. As I wrote, what I heard was like in the explosion.
Yeah, I
Well,
thought
maybe
that's-
that was the kind of massacre he was talking about.
and he
Okay.
had to watch.
They didn't
Yeah.
say, they said that they massacred his family in front of him. They made him watch as they died.
And I read, and he almost cries about it.
Yeah.
Which
yeah,
I'm
he's
like,
so sad.
it is sad, but at the same time, it's like, I don't know if this is the guy you want on the mission. You know?
He already
He's a real
doesn't seem
crier,
like he
this
can
dude.
handle this.
So then Sopkiw gang goes through the sewer because that's how you get in this level, right? Because you
Yeah.
you don't have the red key to get into New York
So
City.
we're gonna wander through waist deep shit water for 2 hours.
With rats.
Dialogue
Oh
explains
my
that they had to travel
fucking
through this
God.
stuff. They got trench foot for sure.
It's almost like 2 hours in the
I hate
movie
that
too.
trench foot.
It goes on for minutes as they stand in front of a grate. They're like, "How do we?
I think it
do we
was
get
for them.
through here?
It's minutes for us, it's hours for them.
Sergio, hello, Sergio. Do we go through? I guess I'm just gonna crawl through it. And there's
You know what I just thought? These are probably Roman sewers or something. Oh, that's
Oh,
so gross.
God.
Oh, no.
gross. It's not even like American
oh
piss
no,
water.
man, all the shit.
Well, no, it's just extra old. That's
Yeah,
all
yeah.
I meant.
Yeah,
This is like shit from the Parthenon.
yeah. It goes up fucking
Not
waist deep, man.
racist.
Also, though,
Actually, I think Parthenon's Greece, right?
I don't know.
Whatever.
what really got me was there's a part where there's a sewer waterfall and like Clawhand like puts his fucking mouth in it and he's like drinking. I'm like, no, dude, no,
No, you gotta
fucking
understand.
sewer.
They massacred his family and he's out, dude. He's trying to check out of this movie.
You almost need something to be like, dude, are you okay? Like, fuck's sake, man, don't drink the sewer water.
I would love that as a subplot. Like, one of the guys in this mission keeps trying to kill himself at every turn. They keep having to stop him. He's like, I don't know why. He's like, I'm drinking this water. Like, stop it, stop it.
So then, also, Eye Patch kills an annoying rat with his bare hands, right?
That's fun.
Yeah.
He squeezes it, well, at least the Halloween store toy rat.
Like, the thing practically goes when he squeezes it.
And we finally get out of the sewer scene, which was way more complicated than it ever needed to be.
Yeah,
It lasted
and long.
for 5 fucking minutes. So then we've reached level 2, okay? And the Sopkiw gang encounters some thugs, and they get in a
It's
fight.
like a bus graveyard, and all these dudes start leaping off the tops of the buses.
And I wrote, okay, seriously, would you be surprised or shocked or even off-put if they all had life bars and names over their heads, like generic names like Biff and Buff and stuff
Like,
like
I
that?
expected, a 60-second timer to pop up above.
Yeah, yeah. They all got the
Yeah.
life bars. You do the special move, but it uses half your life. So
Much like in 1990, The Bronx Warriors, there's a fully cooked turkey dinner on the ground.
Yeah,
that he
of
suddenly
course.
eats real quick and goes, ha! He recharges.
You don't remember that part when
Right.
Sopkiw kicked the wall and there was a turkey in it?
Yeah. And like he pulled a soda out of the trash can and chugged it real quick and went and flexed.
He picked up his metal bar, went to work, And Clawhand rips a dude's throat out with
Oh,
his
yeah.
claw. Yeah, he swayzes him.
And then
which is
Ratchet's
great.
whole
Yeah.
thing is he has these metal balls on a string.
Yeah.
Oh,
He's like a
yeah.
yo-yo
He does
fighter.
have metal balls.
Yeah, he does. That's why they call him Ratchet. Also because he is. But yeah, he's swinging these balls around on a string and just knocking people in the forehead with them.
Yeah. And then the level ends.
Yeah.
The gang
Yeah.
just
They're-
kind of runs off.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
it.
Then they hide as the horse dudes roll by. For no reason, the horse dudes come in, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they hide in a sewer. And then after the horse dudes leave, all these locals just fucking
like-
pour shit on
Yeah,
them.
the homeless population attack them the second they pop up out of the manhole.
Yeah, they're like,
And yeah, there's a attack with a shit bucket.
I thought it was
Yeah.
boiling oil, but I'm like, that doesn't
Oh,
really
like
make
a-
any
like
sense either.
like a medieval knight
Yeah,
trying to
that's
scale a
what I
wall.
thought.
I think they wish it was boiling oil.
Well, this whole movie just oscillates between like fantasy and sci-fi.
Yeah.
So like I would have
Like many of these.
Yeah.
Was I say it? Yeah, they got a shit bucket poured on them. And then
that's a shit rap on this guy.
yeah. Then level 3 has started, and now the bad guys are these people with trash poles, right? So
Yeah.
like the trash pole gang, as I call them, the rat gang.
The-
They
yeah.
just come through the sewer and they kill like rats. So
Yeah.
we learned that
They're hunting radioactive rats in the future.
the rats are the biggest problem in this whole movie, not the horse dudes. Because by the way, the horse dudes are very polite for the most part. Like
They
when
give
they
you a
capture,
time frame and
exactly,
everything.
actually they're actually will help you get out of jams. And they're like, okay, let's start talking about what we're gonna do next. But no, they're just the rats are the only real villain
Yeah.
in this whole movie. 'Cause
And they're pretty nasty.
yeah, they eat people alive.
Yeah, they
apparently.
swarm.
Yeah, one dude trips and falls down and just gets attacked by rats.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so they're stabbing the rats, right? And you think maybe they're gonna like eat them, and they're just like cleaning them
And
up
they
or
do,
whatever.
actually.
And one guy does like trip. He like falls into somebody and trips, and rats
swarm
just
him.
Yeah.
swarm him.
Yeah.
And here's a fun
eat
bit
his
of trivia.
face.
When they go in for the zoom in, the close up of rats eating the man, they're guinea pigs.
Are they really? Oh my
Oh,
God, I can't believe I
interesting.
You
didn't
can't
notice
train
that.
a rat to do it. So.
So
Rats are really smart. I'm surprised.
Nah, they're too smart.
Oh, they just
That's
won't
the
do
problem.
it.
They're
This
like,
is-
yeah, is this union? It's like,
So this is when you get the introduction of Giara, okay, who is one of the rat people.
Yeah,
okay?
she's part of this-
Now here's
this
the thing:
clan.
she just saw a man get eaten by rats, right? Later in the movie, she'll see another man get eaten by rats and turns her head like, "Oh, it's the worst thing I've ever seen." You see it every day.
it's because she thought
you see
she
it
was done with
every
it.
day.
She's like, not this.
So they also, for no reason, there's a little person here,
And it's
Yeah.
great because they catch him and they go, a little boy. And
Yeah.
then
Well, yeah,
it's like,
'cause-
he's not a little boy. He's one of the tiny people.
And they're just pissed at him for not being a little boy because there's
Yeah.
no
Yeah.
children in the future.
And they're pissed at him because he says, let's slice the little bastard in two.
Yeah, we learn later on, like halfway through the movie, his name's Shorty.
Yeah.
And
But
I was really
Sopkiw saves
hoping-
him.
Yeah. So wait, he's from a gang of little people, and he got the nickname Shorty.
Because he's not
Man.
hanging with that gang right now. He got the
Yeah.
nickname Shorty by the other people he was
Yeah.
rolling with.
I was really hoping he was going to join our RPG party like right off the bat.
the
like I
whole
knew it was
time.
inevitable, but like let's
And
try
you
to
shall have my axe.
Because you think it would be funny if like he's with a gang of little people and he's the tallest, so they call him Shorty. You know, it's
That's
the
their
old
Oh
big
god,
guy.
that's great.
Like the fat one being tiny.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, no,
I
he's the
love
big
it.
guy.
And so Sopkiw saves him and ends up fighting with the leader of these.
Yeah, the
rat
mini
catchers.
boss fight begins.
And this guy with the Fu Manchu, this Asian man, is character actor Hal Yamanuchi, who has actually played a Marvel supervillain
Wow.
in The Wolverine, where Logan
Really?
goes to Japan. He's the
Oh.
Silver Samurai,
Huh.
the end boss of that movie.
That
He's gotten
movie-
a lot of work in a lot of movies of varying quality.
That's how they were going to market it, where they go, the bad news bears went to Japan. Wolverine goes to Japan.
Right.
Like, we'll just call it Wolverine.
Yeah.
Okay.
We're gonna cut goes to Japan. Or wait, it was actually does Japan.
No, that's not gonna. It's not gonna
Maybe
work.
not. But yeah, a little bit of trivia for you there. That this dude
Yeah.
went on to fight Wolverine in a movie.
Wow. I'd say Sopkiw's better. so I
Yeah,
don't
of
know.
course. I mean, the two biggest cinematic badasses.
Yeah, but however, Sopkiw loses this fight. Okay, and they're brought to the Rat Clan's base, and then.
Oh, what happens because they only bring 2 of them, right?
Well,
they bring all
okay,
3?
apparently Eye Patch got away somehow off screen because he's just not with them at this moment.
Ratchet starts whipping his balls around at people.
Yeah, and then he just disappears, and they're like, "What did that guy?
Yeah,
Oh well,
smartest guy in the movie.
he needed to leave that day or something." And they're like,
He found an exit and he took it.
So now they're tied up, right? So Sopkiw gang, him and Clawhand are tied up
Yeah.
while everybody sits around eating rats, and apparently,
Barbecuing some rat.
yeah, apparently they raffle off women, which is
That
Who
seems
gets
to be
to
what
go
everybody
first?
does in this future.
oh boy.
Yeah,
And
so
that's he
that's,
finds out Giara is like Flower from the beginning of the movie. She's a sex slave to be auctioned off.
But the other thing too is like, there's a part where they do the raffle, okay, and a guy wins, and he goes, "Well, you got your choice of anyone," and I'm like, "But she's the only woman." Are they
Yeah.
just doing it to try to make her feel better or something? Like, well, maybe
No.
he'll choose a rat.
No.
You know, you don't know.
It's very inclusive. They don't know what he's into. You know?
Well, that's true. Yeah.
Like,
He goes,
why?
"Sopkiw's here,
Dude, I mean, you look at Sopkiw, and even if you never thought about it before, you go, well, maybe.
the guy seems having a real big problem, like a quandary. He's like, I don't know, man. I mean, maybe.
He's like, well, on one hand, I've only ever been with women. On the other hand, fucking look at him.
what a treat.
in his bandana, that puffy jacket.
hair.
Like, oh, God.
But no, then the horse dudes come in and ruin the rat party.
Damn it.
Because they just start offing people left and
Yeah.
right for literally no reason. We don't even know what's going on.
Yeah,
And
they
our boy, the
smashed
Silver
leaders
Samurai, gets piked in the head.
with an axe.
Yeah, and that's fucking it. Curtains. You know, he's
Yeah.
off to film Wolverine.
Yep.
And then Horse Leader just finds Sopkiw and Clawhand, and he's like, "You don't look like you're part of that gang. So, you're cool with us." And I write, "Where did Eye Patch go?" Like, this is
Yeah,
the
that's
first
what
point
I
where
was-
I'm
I'm
like,
like,
the fuck? And then Horse Gang, so they bring the guys back to their base,
And
right?
the girl, and
So-
Jetta.
Yes, they bring
Yeah.
Giara now. They're at Horse Dude base, okay?
Uh-huh.
And And I said, well, apparently we're taking an art class now, right? 'Cause the next 3 minutes is the debate over a Picasso on a wall.
It's a weird interrogation scene because we get the classic, we have ways of making you talk, as Ratchet is being interrogated.
By bald guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The bald guy is like the boss of this movie.
Yeah.
And the
And,
setting that we're in, like, there's like a big Picasso painting in the background, and also a legit crystal alien skull on the desk.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, did you
Yeah.
see that? That was great.
George
It's the one from House 2.
Oh, okay. I was going to say George Lucas, Steven Spielberg, you hack.
You hacked. And he says, well, I see that certain cultures never die. To which the bald guy goes, are you referring to the Picasso painting or the genocide in Tibet? And Ratchet goes, is there a difference? What?
What?
What are we talking, guys?
But then Clawhand just starts going about how he used to teach in New York
Pre-industrial
City
revolution history.
before the bomb dropped, and I go, okay, whoa, hold up. And I go, how old do you think Clawhand is? I write 37, 40, something like
In his
that.
30s,
right?
late
30s,
maybe
40s.
early
Oh, he was a real
40s.
Doogie Howser.
And I go, so that was 20 years ago. Okay, so he's teaching college at 17.
That's awkward.
You know, it's like,
All right,
and
look.
and he has a full family.
Look, I was a TA, all right? I was telling people I'm a teacher. I wasn't really.
Because I was thinking, like,
You know,
well,
like you were saying earlier about, like, you haven't got the PhD yet?
yeah, well,
He was
that's true,
studying
yeah.
to be a professor.
Yeah, he's a TA.
And it doesn't matter now.
Yeah. But I always wanted Sopkiw to start, well, he's not in this scene, but just being like, all right, this story's not adding up, man. Something.
This guy's full of
weird.
shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's got a real hand under that claw. And he goes, yeah, I'll tell you why I came to New York. To dig out the eyes of a worm like you. And he plucks his eyes out with his claw
Yeah,
hand.
he takes, so Clawhand takes bald guy's eyes out.
Just
Yeah. And then that's how that scene ends. He fucking takes his eyes out, cut to Sopkiw on a torture table without a shirt on.
Yeah.
And Officer Anya comes in, right?
And obviously she wants to talk to Sopkiw alone.
Because
Touches
who
it.
wouldn't? She comes in and immediately goes, oh my God.
And just starts caressing his chest.
God,
Yeah.
it's not fair.
She she starts putting her fingers through his chest hair and everything, and she's like, "Oh, so you new in town?"
This episode is brought to you by Blue Chew.
And she goes,
She's
"Oh."
wearing a very pointy breastplate as
It's
well.
great.
I don't know if you noticed this. Like, I don't want her to lean too far over because she's going to damage the goods.
Yeah. But it's funny is when she goes,
He better be in the same condition you found him.
she goes, "Oh, do you remember me?" And he goes, "No." And she kisses him on the lips. She goes, "You remember me now?" And he goes, "Certainly not in the biblical sense," which I don't know. I don't know what that's supposed to mean.
I had to look that up after. You know
Knowing
why?
someone in the
Because
biblical
of
sense means
Sister
fucking.
Act.
Yeah,
Yeah, because of Sister Act, I looked it up because there's a point where he goes, "I know her in a biblical sense," and I was like, "What does that mean? Like
yeah.
they're in like Bible study?"
No, that always means banging.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Well, you know,
Knowing
yeah,
someone in biblical
right.
sense means you've had sex
And
with them.
though he knew her,
And he knew her. And he
Well-
knew her rotten.
Well, he'll know her soon because she's like, "Well, why don't you get out of those chains, huh?" Anyway,
That Bible verse just says, and he knew her all night long.
she's like,
Oh, no,
usually we
no.
torture guys for information, but I think we can just make an exception for
And
you. And
she explains that you've been condemned to death. And he says, so you're my last cigarette, huh? And she says, well, I can be your petition for mercy.
And I'm just like, so what does Anya do around here? What is her job description exactly? She's just walking in and she's like, oh, okay, little break time for me.
And Sopkiw lays it out for her. His whole mission, not his
Yeah.
dick.
Oh, this is amazing.
But-
Yes, Sopkiw recites the entire plot and his secret mission.
He fills
Yeah.
her in on everything that's happened in this movie so far.
She kisses him once and he looks right in her eyes and he goes, oh yeah, I'm here to find a fertile girl.
He gives it all up
gives it up.
in hopes that she will
Well,
too.
he didn't want to do it. They were going to kill him either way. My only other question is, like, how do they know which one is the fertile woman? Do they, like, knock on the womb
Okay,
and, like,
this-
hello,
They've run
McFly,
this-
hello?
This is the biggest point of contention I have in the whole movie is they're just like, she's the fertile woman. Wait, maybe not. Wait, is she? Is who?
No, I mean, he says that she is because he wants to save her. He doesn't think she is.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
He tells them that so she can leave with him.
Yeah, but then there's multiple parts where you get confused and you're like, but
how does
is
he know?
she? Because they start
Yeah.
talking like, yeah, she is. And you're like, wait,
And, like,
no.
we did a test. She
Because
isn't.
then-
And they're like, test her again.
Yeah, because then bad guys go, wait, no, he would only say she is because he wanted to trick us, but maybe he's tricking us double because maybe she is the girl. We got to get
It's
her.
basically Wallace Shawn and the Princess Bride doing the whole sequence with the poison.
It's like they're like
That's what they want you to think.
they're almost like
I'm just getting started.
It really is. I mean, they're almost like the audience. They're like, I think maybe it is. Like, I think
It
I
does
don't
make
know.
you start believing she might. Is she fertile? Is Sopkiw
Yeah.
the fertile?
Halfway through the movie, I'm like, I think Giara is the fertile woman. Like,
Yeah.
I'm just like, I think that's the plot. But no, he goes,
he gives it all up.
Hey, I'm here to find this fertile woman and bring her back to Alaska so we can get on a spaceship and go fucking space and start a new planet.
Great.
And Anya's like, well, that's cool.
Yeah, and they're going to test her, and she says, well, if she is fertile, you've just saved her life.
And then,
and if she isn't, you'll wish you hadn't been born.
And Sopkiw's like, I don't care.
Great, cool, thanks.
So then she
No, he's doing a Snake Plissken. He doesn't care about shit.
Yeah. So Anya takes Sopkiw to a holding cell. He's like, all right, point out Giara, because we got a bunch of women. We never saw any of them before, but we got a bunch of women in this cell. And he does, and then the guards take her away to be experimented on. And I go, well, I guess that's settled.
Yeah.
And so then Sopkiw is taken to a room where Clawhand is being stretched out on a robot torture table, right?
Sopkiw ain't having it.
Sorry, why is he taken to this room? And then the other thing, too, is like they're torturing Clawhand on the table. They go, tell us why you're here. I'm like, but he just did. Sopkiw told him the whole plot.
Word hasn't gotten around yet, though.
But this is the thing.
That's why they took him to the room. Let him know you told us everything.
But Sopkiw just watches it happen.
Yeah.
And they're like, yeah. And there's a robot voice going, tell us what you know. And Sopkiw's just
Sopkiw doesn't
standing
give a
there.
shit about this guy.
Yeah, he's just standing there watching him like,
better you than me, pal.
The great part is that the torture that is involved, he's like stretched out on this table, and it's like one of the old like rack torture.
Yeah.
So the table keeps spreading apart and then coming back together.
Yeah.
So Sopkiw uses this, and he punches out the guard that's next to him, and he like throws himself onto the table as it's closing, and it busts his chains open. So now his chains are off. It was awesome.
Or,
and then
you
he
know,
turns
he
off the
could've just-
machine by giving it a sweet chin music super kick. He
does a
slaps his
Shawn
thigh and
Michaels to
everything.
it,
He
yeah.
gives it the big crack, and then the machine breaks.
So here's the thing.
And then he poses. He gets
So
down,
he
flexes.
He did save Clawhand.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, you could have just told him the plot, man. It would have been fine.
Yeah, but this was way cooler.
Yeah, these Eurax, they're pretty reasonable. Like, to be
Yeah,
honest.
they are,
Like-
by the way, because they'll show up later and they just have conversations with you, like, so we let you out. You know, we gotta bring you back.
They just want to talk about philosophy and all that
Yeah.
stuff.
They're reasonable
like,
people.
yeah.
And I'm like, so we did this whole thing for nothing. You already told somebody the plot. Now you killed people unnecessarily. Oh, well, he saved Clawhand. And I go, well, now the guards are telling Anya that Giara is sterile like everyone else. And they're looking at what is apparently a testing machine, which is just like a radar almost. And they're like, see this line? And then there's that line.
That's bad.
And she's like, here. And I don't know what I'm looking at, but it's like the same set from Raiders of Atlantis, basically. It was just like, I don't know, something about water. And then Sopkiw and Giara and Clawhand are making a run for it. And I write, apparently they're in some sort of, like a beer factory. Like they're in a distillery.
I had that in my notes too. It was like they're running around a brewery.
Yeah, they're running around a brewery.
That's
because
what it looks like. It looks like
just,
a Coors Factory or something.
There is. That's exactly what I wrote. Coors Factory. I was just like, hopefully they get the banquets, you know?
Yeah.
And so, yeah, they're running around the Coors plant.
This factory tour.
I also said it looks like the ship from Star Crash too, like the pipes and stuff.
Yeah. And
the robot voices are hilarious that are coming through there.
And this is, by the way, when we start a trend in this movie that I love, is there are multiple characters who just go, look, it's time for me to die.
Fuck that! I was so mad. Dude, I was so mad at this. You guys were out the door. They were so far behind you. There is no reason that Bronx needs to stay behind and sacrifice himself. I was like, you fucking idiot.
Clawhand
Like
just
Mine
turns
Trap.
to them and he goes, look, guys, I'm going to die. It's my turn to die in the script. So you keep running. And they're like,
So
but
mad.
we're outside.
Guys, this is my
God.
stop.
And he goes, save yourselves. And he just
runs
starts
in and goes,
shooting.
"Bastard!"
And by the way,
No, we had to wait for them to come so we
Yeah.
could start shooting.
and by the way, he saves 1 second.
Yeah.
Because they don't even stop to kill him. They just shoot him and keep running. And I'm like, well, that was fucking useless.
Totally
He just wanted out.
Yeah, I wonder if that'll happen again.
Like, it was
yeah.
a way out.
Yeah, it was a way out.
That's all it was.
I was so mad.
He was very upset about the craft services on this shoot. And he's like, look, I'm just going to die in this scene. Bye, everybody. And so then, I write, it's not even like he tried it. He was just lazy. Like, he's just
Yeah.
like, I don't want to
Tired of running.
Yeah.
I'm tired.
And then I read, it doesn't even matter because the horse gang still captures Sopkiw and Giara at the end of the hall. I write, he didn't even save him a minute. Seriously, seconds, maybe seconds, you
Yeah.
know? And then Eye Patch returns, and him and Sopkiw fight off the guards, and then they climb over a fence of a compound, and like the horse gang and Anya is chasing after them, and then they get
who
away
should
by...
appear? But Shorty.
Shorty.
Yeah.
Shorty comes back to save the day. He's joining the party because now we have an opening.
Yeah.
So-
And he's like, hey, man, come into the sewer. Let's hang
Yeah.
out down here.
And they as they're escaping into the sewer, they zap Sopkiw with the stun gun ray, which gives him the old dead leg.
Yeah, and just for like 1 second.
Very
he goes,
inconvenient. He's like, God damn
"Oh."
it!
It's like my leg fell asleep. No, I'm fine.
His
And
foot's
then
all tingly.
the other thing is they went in the sewer, and then the horse stewards are looking at it, they're like, well, I'm not going down there,
Can't bring a horse in the sewer.
Let's just go back home. And they just just say fuck it. So the fertile woman potentially, fuck it. She went in the sewer. Damaged goods at this point. It's like, well, once you go down there, now she's sterile.
Yeah.
So
Well, we passed over the part where they give the bad guy new eyes.
Yeah.
Oh,
so
there is that
they're
part.
gonna
Yeah.
fix
Brand
them.
new ones put
Yeah,
in, so
yeah.
so they don't have to do that makeup effect. He's good to go now.
Yeah. And she's like, I'll get them back for you before you see the light of day again.
As he's recovering.
Anya says that. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's her promise. That's how fast she'll get them. And there's so much delegation in the Confederacy.
Oh my
Yeah.
God, it's so confusing.
You
I
gotta
don't
go
know
through
who's
a
boss
chain of
who,
command
and-
down like
yeah.
5 people to get to a guy who's actually going to get on a horse and go find
Yeah,
these
I
guys.
have no idea. So then the Sopkiw gang are all hanging out with the rat people, and
No,
then
not the rat people. It's the little people.
Oh, okay, they're with the little people
Yeah.
and so Shorty's gang, right?
And
the tallest of
Ratchet-
the little people.
And Ratchet, they're like, how'd you find us? And he gives some bullshit about a body sense receiver or something.
Yeah.
I was
And then he
just-
knows everything
like,
about the plan.
Yeah,
No, he goes,
okay.
well, I found you because you got a bucket of shit poured on you. Stick up the whole apocalypse, man. And so then Shorty goes, oh, yeah, you're looking for that fertile girl? Pff, man, I know where she is.
Yeah.
And he's like, why didn't you
willing to
say
help
this
them
earlier?
Under a condition, which is what I said at the top of the show. He says, I want you to promise that when you leave here, you'll put me in a suitcase. That you'll sneak
keep
him
me-
out of here too.
And Sopkiw's like,
In a duffel bag.
yeah, I guess. I mean, I take everything literally.
It's called
so,
fetishes.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a real Amelia Bedelia.
He's just gonna.
He's
gonna hit the
jumping on a
road.
suitcase trying to get it to lock. Here, ow, ow, ow. He's like latching it shut.
And he's like, yeah, I'll show you where
everybody
that
just
fertile
wants
girl is. It's almost like Shorty's going to go to the side and be like, this fucking idiot. We sell tickets to go see her.
Yeah.
It's like, it's just a normal thing. You visit
like
New
the
York
world's
City, you got to
largest
see
horse.
the fertile girl. Yeah. And so then a loud siren goes off and everyone
This
goes
high
nuts.
frequency
Yeah,
jammer
it's
that's killing
weaponized audio from the Eurax. They're pumping it through the sewer.
Yeah, so horse dudes are carrying like big radios around now and they're like, hey, hear that. And everybody's like, ow.
Everyone's screaming and clutching their
Oh,
head.
and their ears are bleeding, their eyes are bleeding. It's horrific.
Everyone's a venom.
But they get away. The Sopkiw gang runs
Just
outside.
the gang.
And you get the weirdest line of dialogue is Sopkiw turns around and he's like, thank God we put wax in our ears. Like,
Yeah,
when
I
the
was like,
fuck
that's how
did-
they do it.
When the fuck
Joke's
did that
on
happen?
you. We've got a buildup of earwax.
Yeah. And so then
I haven't cleaned this shit in years.
now we're in some weird building with a lady rocking a baby crib at the end of a hall, and this is great.
Oh,
Is
it's so weird.
They go to walk up to it, right? JR gets closer, and then Eye Patch grabs her and he goes, "Careful, there's something weird about this." I'm like, "You think?"
And the weird, like, there's the background is painted like a skyline of a city, and there's
Yeah,
like
it's
a
a
massive
theater.
face on the wall.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a big theater thing.
Yeah.
And then Sopkiw walks over. It's a couple of dummies, literal dummies,
Yeah, it's like an animatronic. Sopkiw tears her arm off.
and then
That's how he proves it's a dummy.
yeah.
He runs over and goes, ah!
And then you know what? The foe of every person in a movie, right? Fucking net.
Damn net drops
Yes.
on him.
A big net drops down, and
And
this
some
is the thing
pajama
again.
guy comes down on a zip line.
Yeah,
Again.
like Maud from The Big Lebowski just comes flying into the scene.
Starts biting and clawing at everybody.
Oh my god.
Oh God, the net thing I never understand. You just lift it up. It has an end
Well,
to it.
you've never
you
been
lift
caught
it
in
up.
one.
And so I've never been caught in a giant net.
So you don't know.
But I feel like my way out would be get low, crawl to the end. That would just be my natural reaction.
I would chew my foot off.
You'd be like, ow. I don't know how it helps, but I'll try. I'm not getting out. I think that's the problem is most people panic. If you just calm down for a second, you can get that net
Calm
off
the
you.
fuck down and lift it up. There's 3 of us, guys. Stop running around. We'll just lift it off.
Lift it up and throw it back.
Yeah. And then, there's that guy that comes from the ceiling. He's like, ha, ha, ha. And you're like, does this guy have anything to do with anything? Nope. The horse dudes show up and fucking blow his face off.
They're like, fuck that guy.
Oh, the whiplash, my neck. Oh.
Like, he's dressed like a court jester or something, and they fucking blow his face off. And you're like,
Oh,
well, I
he's
guess
just
we're not
one
gonna...
of those theater kids.
They're like, I don't like that
him.
guy. Who goes around dressed like that?
I was ready to get to know him. I'm like, okay, this guy seems... Oh, bye, sir. Thank you for joining us.
But before we can talk about it, Ratchet's throwing his balls again.
Yeah,
Yep.
well, I do love this part. His horse leader gets out, right? He comes up. He cuts the rope he cuts the net, and he's like, okay, so you want to talk? And then all of a sudden, Ratchet, Eye Patch, just starts throwing his balls around.
And we got the round starting up again. Everyone starts fighting like Final Fight.
And everybody's just fighting each other, and people are fucking dying left and right.
And then we got another introduction as George Eastman bursts through the wall like he's on American Gladiators.
Oh god,
Yeah.
and he is wearing the puffiest orange pirate shirt
Yeah,
with
it's
this
great.
huge gold statement
Yeah.
belt and this pirate cutlass at his side and hair all over his face like an ape.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Fancy
He looks
pirate is what I
amazing.
write.
Yeah.
His name's Big Ape.
Yeah, his
Eastman
name's
always
Big
has
Ape.
great outfits. Do you remember him in 1990, The Bronx Warriors?
Hell yeah.
Where he's got like the big red shoulder pads. He's dressed like Shona
Dude, he
from
brings
The
his
Last
own.
Dragon.
He brings his own, man. Like he comes to set ready to go.
Yeah, I think that costume was his.
And he immediately, with his pirate cutlass, after bursting through the paper wall, he pulls like a Kool-Aid man, goes, "Oh yeah," and then just slices a dude's stomach open.
Dude, he
just eviscerates a
he
guy.
kills Horse Leader. Like,
Yeah.
one of
Yeah.
who you think is going to be main character in this movie, he fucking awesome.
He runs and
We're
goes, "Nope."
We're 40 minutes into this movie and like a main character's died.
No
at this
one is
point.
safe.
And well, it does establish that. You know, this is the real Samuel L. Jackson Deep Blue Sea style. It's just like nobody's safe, man. He kills one of our main characters and then he's like, "Hey, what's up? I'm Ape Man." You know?
I'm Big Ape, and I can make babies.
Yeah,
Damn right.
He goes, "I am fertile. You guys know any fertile women around here?" And Shorty's like, "Oh, it's funny you say that. We're actually
And
we're
his
gonna go see her."
clan of monkey men is such a mix of like dudes with
Oh
hair
my
glued to
God.
their
Oh
faces
God,
and
and-
dudes in Planet of the Apes masks.
Leftovers
Yeah.
from Planet of the Apes. Yeah.
Like straight up, this is the guys at the end of Spaceballs.
And they
There
raided
goes
the
planet.
wardrobe department and this Broadway theater that they're staying in because all of them are dressed in
Oh, this
really
is
Yeah.
crazy
the Planet of the
theater
Apes
outfits.
musical from The Simpsons. This
Yeah.
is what they've run into.
And by the way, they keep having a discussion. They're like, "Oh yeah, everybody's heard about that fertile woman."
Yeah.
And I'm like, so if everybody has heard about her and it's like the one thing to do, why is nobody doing anything about it? It's like that makes zero sense to me.
Fertile
It's just-
women? That's just an urban legend.
Yeah.
But they're all like, "Oh no, we know about her. Is she right over? Is she to the left or something?" And he's like, "Shorty, how do you get there or something?" And he goes, "Let's look at the map right here. You know, they got the tourist map where you get your stops in."
And Big Ape says, speaking of the bad guys, he says, "Oh, they've been combing the city for you guys. Like you was a bunch of bananas. Like, get it? I'm an ape man.
Yeah, that was an Eastman special, man. He's like, I'm working in a banana line.
Don't monkey with me, pal."
And so then he goes, "Oh, just like every other gang, we also are gonna raffle off a lady." And so then
It's our third woman raffle.
yeah, and one of the ape mans gets Giara because again, she's the only woman, right? And then Sopkiw's like, "Well, I'm gonna fight you now for the honor of Giara."
I was hoping he'd call him a damn dirty ape, but he
You
didn't.
damn dirty. Nope, not gonna
Yep.
do it.
Sopkiw's above it.
But Sopkiw wins, and then everybody claps as Sopkiw makes out with Giara after he won. And then this is
He
I
totally
love this.
sucker punched the guy too, or was it a kick in the nuts?
No, it was a sucker punch because he's
Yeah.
because
'Cause he asked about
like,
the rules.
"Explain the rules, please," and they're like, "It's to the death," and then he just sucker punches the guy.
They
All
have
right.
time to go. You know, there are no rules. Boom.
And I do love this is that they set up an entire shot, which will never go back to the scene of the ape man running away in shame outside with like fucking full buildings.
Yeah, I
and, like,
thought he was
everything.
gonna run to the Urax.
I thought he was too. I
thought
was
this was
so
like a narc
prepared
thing.
for
Like
that.
he's gonna bring the Eurax hell down upon them
I
now
was
because he
sure.
got embarrassed.
We built like a fucking entire set for a shot of a guy running for
I
1
just started
second.
running.
It was like the most extensive scene there is in the whole movie for 5 seconds. Of
And
a
we
guy
never see
going,
that guy
"Yeah."
again.
Good looking 5 seconds
I
though.
lost
Him just
him.
going, "You guys are mean."
Yeah, you're mean. And then here's the thing, right? I love this. This is maybe my favorite part in the whole movie, right? We get the gratuitous sex scene, okay? So Sopkiw and Giara are getting it
Well,
on.
she tells
That's
him,
not why I like this
Love
scene.
me as if this was the last day of our lives.
And he says, oh yeah, he goes, she's like, he says, "Well, I'd love you if love meant anything in this world." Oh man.
Oh man.
So here's the thing. Pan out. Everybody's watching because they are having sex on a blanket in the middle of the ape man.
Oh God.
God, it's
Gang.
like Men in Tights when he's singing to Marianne behind the sheet and all the merry men are standing around watching the shadows.
And it's like we zoomed in with the candlelight and everything, and they're saying all these lines, and they're making out, and they're gonna have sex. Pan out, everybody's watching.
Everyone's eating
they're
lunch.
just sitting there being like, "You guys good?" Or,
Oh, it's so good.
and so then the spaceships fly overhead. Yeah, and then Eastman swings a sword at the blanket. That's when you find out is because he goes, "Ha!" And I'm like, "Wait, everybody's in the same room?"
Yeah.
And he's like, "You brought them here," and Sopkiw's like, "Well, yeah."
Wait a minute. Did he narc on them then?
It's possible.
Oh no, they were following Sopkiw, the spaceship people.
Okay.
They already know how to catch him because they knew he
Fair
was
enough.
in Nevada and
Fair
everything.
enough.
I feel like,
I'm just trying to make sense of the senseless.
well, actually, I do know the reason, but I don't want to ruin it.
Okay.
But yeah, they apparently he did bring them to them. The president's men, I guess it's the Secret Service.
All the president's men.
Yeah, I guess so. And they ride around in spaceships. That's when I said, Jesus, so the sex show is for everybody. Now Eastman's all pissed, yeah, because he's like, now the horse stews are coming to get me, and Giara is the fertile woman. I go, wait, is she? Because he's like, she must be the fertile woman. I'm like, well, hold up, guys, you got to stop saying that in the movie like it means something. And so then Eastman tries to kill Sopkiw. Then Shorty's like, hey,
Calms
wait.
the situation down.
He goes, hey, I know where that fertile woman is. She's like Sleeping Beauty in some sort of castle or something. And then again, I go, if people know about this, why has nobody looked? Why?
And Big Ape wants to go and see her because he wants to carry on his line.
Yeah, he's ready to go.
Yeah.
He wants a bigger gang of little apes. And so Sopkiw's gang and Eastman, they go looking for Sleeping Beauty. They stumble on a rat buffet.
No.
It's not just a rat buffet. It's all of Shorty's people.
Oh my God.
That
Being
audio
devoured by
weapon
rats.
killed them, and now the rats are eating them.
Yeah.
That's
so-
harsh, man.
It's harsh.
And Shorty's all upset about it. Giara's all upset, which I go, what the fuck's that about? She sees this every day.
Big
She's
Ape's not terribly
empathetic.
upset though,
No, Ape
because he
doesn't
says,
care.
"What's the matter? You ever seen rats have lunch before?"
And he says that to Giara, and I go, well, I mean, she has. So, yeah.
She's pretty well versed
Yeah.
in that, actually.
And then that's when I heard, holy shit, this little guy's name is Shorty. This is when you find it out. I was like, man, good thing I didn't write that in the notes or something. I'm like, okay. So inside this weird cave is a giant door, right? So we're in like underground Rome somewhere, and there's like a big science door. And Shorty's like, on the other side of that is Sleeping Beauty, and also an old man scientist. And I used to work for that old man. And I'm like, what? Whoa, 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 whoa. What? So his backstory is that I used to work for him, and yeah, his daughter's fertile and everything.
Yeah, so she's fertile because the scientist knew that there was going to be an apocalypse that happened. So he decided to like put his daughter in like cryo sleep to preserve her
and save their station
to save
wagon.
and save their station wagon, and to preserve her to be like the mother of the future, I guess.
Yeah.
Of the next generation.
And so they're able to finally break down the door because the science guy won't answer it. So
Yeah.
they dynamite it.
And Big
right?
Ape happens to
Yeah.
conveniently have some dynamite.
Then they
so.
go in the lab, and I go, well, the professor's dead. He's just dead in a chair. And then Shorty starts crying. I'm like, hold up, wait. So what's the story? You used to work here, and now
Yeah.
you haven't been back.
He was
like,
a friend to everybody.
I was
man.
like, did
Shorty
he-
got
Yeah,
around.
Shorty's having a bad day.
No, I was like,
I have
All
that
his
in my
friends
notes.
are
look,
dead.
man, Shorty got fired. That's what I'm thinking. Is like, there's a reason he's not in with the science guy anymore. Like something happened. He got fired at some point because
Because
some reason.
every time he got shorted on his pay, the scientist would laugh, and eventually he quit. He's like, that isn't funny.
And so then, yeah, they find the guy dead, right? Shorty's crying for a while. It's a tender moment for nothing. Then they find Sleeping Beauty in a cryo tube, right? Her name's Melissa.
Yeah, it's like Snow White in her glass coffin.
Yeah, they're in
yeah.
this white tent.
Yeah, and they do find out they're like, it's like an Ebola tent or something like that. It's just like this thing in the back.
And she's in hibernation.
It really is for the tourists. It's like all set up for
It
it
is.
and
Come
everything.
see the fertile woman.
Yeah. They were going to charge tickets. That was the whole thing. Is Shorty was going to be like the carnival barker, and then the scientist decided against it, and he's
I'd
like,
buy
"Nah, we can't do it, man.
It's
I
a great
feel
money-making
bad."
scheme.
Yeah. So then, basically, what happens is Shorty goes, "Okay, so we're setting this all up, and at some point, he's going to use this station wagon that he has here.
I
to
love that they
drive."
reveal that. They're like, we need a car. Woof, they pull back the
Yeah.
tarp, and it's an old station
station
wagon.
And
wagon.
Sopkiw looks
Oh
at him,
my
he's like,
God.
"What the hell is this about?" And he goes, "No, it's got a full tank of gas, it runs and everything." And I'm
great.
just like, "Shorty, there's a lot you're not telling us, man. Like, what's going on?"
And meanwhile, Big Ape has his googly eyes all over Melissa.
Oh, yeah,
like,
He's getting his fingerprints all over that glass.
He's
like-
pressing onto that glass, he's breathing on
And
it.
someone
and
actually
everything.
says, the gorilla's in love.
Yeah, Beauty and the Beast is
Yeah,
what they
it's Sopkiw.
say.
Yeah, Beauty and the Beast. And there is something where, Sopkiw says something about how beasts at least have warm blood. And I'm like, the fuck?
I don't know what he's
fuck
on about.
is he talking
Sopkiw
about?
He's saying he's a
makes-
cold motherfucker, man.
Sopkiw makes some like questionable decisions regarding this whole thing in the coming minutes.
Yes,
So
he
here's
does.
the thing that happens is Shorty says, look, we got to use the station wagon to get her out of New York City
And he's
before
like-
anybody can impregnate her, because if you impregnate her here, it's going to fuck everything up because everything's irradiated, you know?
Right.
So here's what we need to do.
We need to reinforce this car.
Sopkiw, you, me, and Eye Patch are going to go outside and we're going to get all the horse dudes and we're going to shoot them and everything like this. And
We're gonna
there's
do a whole
lasers
action
We're gonna
and
go
all
to
that.
It's gonna be hella cool.
Yeah, it's going to be great. So-
Giara, you stay here with the rapist.
well, because he goes, all of us are going to go. And 8-Man goes, no, I'll stay behind.
And they're like, yeah, it sounds okay.
Sounds good.
Sounds good. Sounds
I
good.
wrote in like all capital letters, don't leave the ape alone with her. Like,
No, he's like, no, it's cool, man.
Yeah.
He'll be
And
fine.
then they're about to leave, and then Sopkiw goes, you know what, Giara, you stay with him. You stay with 8-Man.
Great idea.
And she goes, that sounds good. Yeah, okay. And so they go, all right, we're going to go get the horse dudes. We'll be back. Nobody touch that lady, okay? And so then they just
the
kind of...
biggest, toughest guy in our crew.
Yeah.
Stay here.
Yeah, you stay here. Then they sneak out of the place, right, to go take care of the horse dudes.
Yeah.
And then this is great. 'Cause Eastman just immediately goes into the tent and he's staring at her. And then Giara just walks into the tent, stands right in front of him with her back to 8-Man for no reason.
And he just judo chops her.
Yeah.
He just immediately knocks her
just
out.
takes her out.
And then he takes Sleeping Beauty out
Yeah.
of the tube and everything. And you're like,
and who saw
okay.
that coming?
Everyone,
What a
not me.
twist.
everyone except Sopkiw. Oh, you were like, no, Big Ape's an honorable man.
No, I mean, I see no reason not to trust him.
God. So the guy who's like the whole time, like his whole character, this whole movie has been like, I want to make babies. You're
Look,
saying
man,
like,
Worf was honorable.
He's like, no, I'll be fine. I'll stay behind. So then he opens the tube. We cut to Sopkiw gag. Okay, this is it. This is the greatest moment
Oh,
for
it's
me.
pretty good.
It's very upsetting. Remember that trend about how people go, it's my time to leave the movie?
Uh-huh.
So, Bobby, we get in a fight with the horse dudes and the Sopkiw gang.
In the
okay?
junkyard.
Right?
Yep.
In the junkyard. It just kind of goes on. There's no fucking lasers or anything that Shorty's talking about. I don't know where we are, right? We're in a junkyard, which is apparently New York.
yeah, one of
Okay.
the two scenes in New York.
Of course.
So, Bobby, Shorty decides he's going to create a distraction. And please
They need
tell
a
us.
distraction. And so he jumps out and they go, it's that damn dwarf. Because everybody knows Shorty.
Yeah. He's the
And,
guy who knows where the fertile woman
And he
is.
goes, you know what? I'll tell you where they are. Stupid bastards. And then he impales himself.
Yeah, so for no
He just
reason,
throws himself on a post.
he kills himself.
He does.
There's like screws sticking out. It's like a car that has the tire off, right? And like the
Yeah.
screws are still sticking out and everything. And he
the-
just fucking falls
not a
into
good
it.
death.
Guys, I got this one. Fuck you! And throws himself on a spike.
Even the horse dudes look at him. They're like,
What? Yeah, they did.
"What the hell just happened?"
What?
and it doesn't even phase him. Literally a second passes where they go,
Imagine
okay, we'll
you're
get
one
the
of the
real
horse
guys now.
You're like something's going on at the junkyard. You get over there, and then a dwarf just runs out and kills himself. like
It's crazy.
Yeah, when that guy goes
Guys.
home to his wife that night, he's going to be the damnedest thing.
I don't want to talk about today. Okay, can we just eat dinner?
And this is the point after having lost Bronx and now Shorty from our party that I was like, oh, it's one of those. Because
Yeah.
I hate that in movies where they're like, they start, and it's not a horror movie because you expect it in a horror movie, whatever, but there are some like adventure movies
Yeah.
where they just start picking off your party
Your
one
whole
by
squad
one.
is going
Your
to
whole squad
sacrifice
gets
themselves
taken.
No.
bravely.
Oh,
But this
I hate
squad
that.
just literally sacrifices themselves in terms
Yeah.
of killing themselves.
Like I remember watching a movie, it was an animated movie when I was a kid, and it has scarred me for life, and I still think about it sometimes. There's like it's like all these woodland animals, and they're gonna escape, and they're having an adventure. They're gonna escape the woods and go to like a nature preserve. But along the way, they all die horribly in these
and
very
that squirrel
like a
impales
hedge-
himself
Yes.
on purpose.
a hedgehog gets like run over by a car while all the other animals watch, and like a hunter kills this rabbit, and then the shorty impales himself on a car. Like it's madness.
The hedgehog gets run over by a car, and his like hedgehog wife just
She
murders
was.
herself.
She was watching when it happened. It was horrific.
So she just takes the nearest spike and impales herself.
No,
This is just.
it's unnecessary.
I know. I was just screaming at the computer at this point, like, "What? No, you can't just have a character go like, nope, taking the old exit, bye."
Exit stage left even.
So then Sopkiw's back at the lab now, and Giara is there, right? And she's awake. And this is the thing: is Sopkiw walks in, and she goes, "Where's Shorty?" And he goes, he got killed trying to save
He
us.
didn't make it.
Yeah, he said something. I was like, at least he was honorable about it, not like, yeah, it was fucking weird, man. He just dove into some screws. I don't know. He's like, no, he died
He
valiantly.
said something about fuck this shit.
Yeah. He died valiantly. He saved us about 10 seconds. And then Sopkiw goes, she was like, well, did you do any of that stuff with the lasers? And all they say, yeah, no, it's good, I guess. I don't really know. Shorty was supposed to take us there and he died.
Yeah.
So.
No, they got it because they drug back a bunch of steel to reinforce the car.
Yeah, it's all good. We got the steel.
Yeah,
I don't know
Ratchet
what we're
dragging
going to
back.
do with it, but whatever.
And
Guess
I
we
don't
got
know why-
time.
Because this shit was Shorty's idea, truth told. I don't
Yeah,
really know
we don't really-
what step 2 is.
And so then Sopkiw looks at Jerry and goes, so how's everything going here? And she looks right back at him and goes, everything's fine.
Fine.
Well, she's embarrassed.
No,
she doesn't want to.
Not.
No, it's cool. This dude knocked me out and probably raped the dead girl. So it's.
But here's the thing is that even George Eastman looks at her and goes, oh, okay, well.
Oh, we're cool. All
Everything's
right.
coming up ape guy.
Guess we're good, yeah. So then they load Sleeping Beauty into the car and they drive off to save the day, right? So I guess they put all that metal on the car because now the car like has all this reinforced steel that's very, by the way, nicely done. You know, everything's in spikes and all that. And I write, why the fuck did they have to leave the cave the first time? Because as we're driving out, none of the stuff was taken care of. There's still a giant roadblock with all these guys. So I'm just writing. So Shorty killed himself for literally no reason. There's just no reason for him to die.
Yeah.
Because they're driving through. There's like a big guard tower. They just run through it like a cardboard box, basically.
He really just got tired. That's all it was.
Bye. And then
Like if you're not, if you can't be comfortable, it's not worth it. He's like, I'm tired. I'm done.
He's really a Julie Siegler about things.
and by the
He's
way,
just like, I don't like this. I'm dead.
by the way, they didn't stop any of the spikes or the lasers or everything because we still got to go through it. Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Because when they go through, Sopkiw just drives up the fucking Lincoln Tunnel
it's great,
wall.
actually. So they're basically just blasting through several different checkpoints that the Eurax have put up. So like, and one of them is like, it looks like mines or spikes or something. And he like, new baby drivers
He's
it.
doing
And he goes
slalom
like,
baby drivers it.
and he goes like up the wall and around. Like it's pretty great. Like no lie.
And I just keep writing over and over again. Why did Shorty kill himself? There's a big like laser turret, you know, like straight out of Star Wars at this point.
Yeah.
That's
It's
pretty
sitting-
great. They shoot the Death Star.
We forgot the part. That's great. So they're the part where they're gonna blast out, right? So they have to blast out through the laboratory where they picked up Melissa. So they like blast out through the door, and Ape Man is like on outside, and they like take off like they're gonna ditch him, and you're like, yes,
Oh, that's right, yeah.
like,
Yeah,
totally,
fuck this guy.
right? But then Sopkiw's like, nah, we can't do that. That'd be a dick move. So
Yeah,
they
he
turn
goes,
around.
yeah,
he's a hero.
no, we can't. He's a good guy.
And,
Yeah,
and
he's a
that's
good
another
guy.
moment too, much like the everything's fine, where even Big Ape's just like, oh shit, really?
He gets in the car and he looks at Jerry and goes, well, you really had a chance to fuck me over there, but you didn't. He's like,
he
"Yep,
he
guess
does
we
a lot of, I'll be damned, every
guess-
time somebody doesn't
didn't.
fuck him
Yeah.
over.
And so then, they drive through the big laser thing, which, by the way, does nothing to the car. It shoots the car multiple times, and it just doesn't slow it down.
Volvo.
Yeah, just fucking drives right through it.
But one of the lasers does get
Before that happens.
Before that?
We have a great moment where Big Ape saves the team. Because there's a bunch of guards all standing close to each other.
Oh, yeah.
And Big Ape pulls out his big fucking cutlass, and he just whips it like a boomerang. And in one big swipe, it beheads everybody.
like
it's great.
6 guys.
Yeah.
Just, you're like, God damn!
It was
That's
impressive.
why you bring them, right?
Well, and
That
that's
is Big
what we
Ape
find
energy
out.
right there.
That's what we find out, though, right? Because later on, we're going through, we almost make it through, and then these lasers like fucking melt Big Ape's face.
It's right when they're like,
It's like,
we made it through, we're safe.
we're
and then this
safe.
laser hits him and turns
It
him into
reminds
a
me of
skeleton.
that first Resident Evil movie with the lasers things in that hallway where they like turn into that
The
big
grid?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The only good part in the movie.
Yeah,
But
which they
that's-
stole from a different movie. Paul
From this
W.S.
movie?
Anderson, you hack.
Well, I think that's
Well, because that happened a
that's
couple
an
years
easy-
earlier in the movie Cube.
Okay, well that's just an easy target, Paul W.S. Anderson. So
Right.
That's the
Calling a-
easiest
calling
of
a hack a
targets.
hack.
Yeah.
But we find out basically that was Sopkiw's plan the whole time.
Okay, so his
That was
plan
like-
was
yes.
somehow there's going to be a big laser grid and it will only kill the ape man,
No,
but
no,
not
no.
me.
Well, no, his idea was that like, yeah, we'll let Ape Man rape the girl because that way he'll protect her with his life. So that was his plan the whole time.
He's like, no, I knew he was going to rape her and everything because it's fine. Like, I knew because Beast would protect the beauty. And everybody's just looking at him. They're like, you didn't know that shit. Like,
you son of a bitch.
so then we come back to Anya and the bald guy, right? Oh, by the way, George Eastman turns into a skeleton. like an actual skeleton in the
Yeah,
back seat.
just a melted face
Like
skeleton.
from a science class.
Still wearing the puffy orange shirt, which
He
was
pulls
great.
he pulls the Freddy's Nightmare skeleton detective.
It really
gag.
is. He's just
Like they turn, he goes, ha, 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 ha.
chattering teeth. And yeah, then Anya, the bald guy, finally gets his eyes back in his head. He's like, all right, I'm ready to go. And then Anya just shoots his ass for no reason.
No, they spent the whole this whole time and energy putting this guy's eyes back in, and because she promised to get them back before he saw the light of day, she's like
fucked up the mission.
Yeah,
she's
she
like,
fucked
oh,
up the
shit.
mission.
Because he
and
reminds her,
thinks-
he's like, you did promise to get them to me before I see the light of day again. And she goes, blam, blam.
Yeah, she
And then
just
says,
throws them
well, now
away.
I have all the time I need.
Yeah. And I write, remember
Fuck
these
yeah.
characters?
Yeah, fuck yeah.
Because I don't, like, barely. Like, when's the last time I saw them?
No. Are these bad guys?
Like,
I don't really.
And is Anya ever going to pursue them? No. I think that's it. I think that's a wrap on her, by the way.
So we're cruising in the station wagon.
Yeah, Sopkiw, they're driving away, the Sopkiw gang, right?
And
What's
Ratchet
left of
goes,
'em?
mission completed. And then Sopkiw goes, almost. And he stops the car.
oh my God, this part
And he turns
makes
and goes,
no sense.
no one I
no
figured
sense
it
at
out.
all.
And you almost hear Eye Patch go, figured what out?
What the hell are you even
What
talking
the fuck are you
about?
talking about, man?
Oh my God.
And he goes, I couldn't help but notice that earlier in this movie, when the high frequency hit everybody, you didn't plug your ears.
Oh, why? Why do you think
You're a
that?
cyborg, Ratchet.
Oh my God, I am! And then they get in a fight, and I go, wait, hold up. Number one, Ratchet's the one who saved them. Eye Patch came in multiple times in this movie to save them and killed all the bad guys.
This
And I'm
dude's
like,
been more of a hero than Sopkiw
so
in this
who
movie.
is Eye Patch working for? Clearly not the horse dudes. He killed all of them.
The president, I
guess
think.
the
but
president.
yeah, exactly. So what does it matter if he's
they-
a cyborg?
They did everything fine. Like, is Sopkiw really like, I'm not
I'm
taking
on the team.
He's like, I'm not taking a robot to space. It's not going to happen. Have you seen 2001?
It's like
not happening.
It's like the android reveal for Alien, but he never goes crazy. It's like, you're a what?
It's like if Ripley just
Holy
went,
shit.
If Ripley just went up to Bishop and just started fucking Ash and just started shoving the paper in his mouth. And stuff. Fuck you, android. And everybody else was like, whoa, Ripley, what the fuck?
She's like, it's okay, he's an android. He didn't do anything. We knew he was an android.
The same scene where the fucking alien comes out of John Hurt's stomach. Ripley just turns to Ash and shoots him. And fuck him, am I right? He's the real problem.
Not taking
fucking
any
android.
risks. Yeah, damn, Sop. You're pretty small-minded here in the
God.
future. Androids are people, man.
You just see Tom Skerritt looking over and go, man, shit is happening. Like, I don't know what the fuck.
You know, the only reason we're doing this is because we need to kill off the rest of the team. There can only be
That
one
is
man
literally
standing.
it. Like, he looked around, what? Too many.
Yep.
Like, hold
then-
on, stop the car.
And by the way, he goes, all right, Eye Patch, go ahead and fucking stab Giara. I don't give a shit.
yeah, in the fight, he just turns and goes, ha-ha.
Yeah, he
her.
stabs her, and then by the way, so she's dying on the ground, okay? Because he wins. Sopkiw wins, and by the way, thank God we find out he was an android because he hits his head and
He
you
hits
see
him
the
with a
robot
rock,
brain.
and then they find out that there's a camera under the eye patch.
yeah, which
Yeah.
by
Which
the
hasn't
way,
been seeing anything because it's covered by an eye
yeah,
patch.
and nobody checked.
At no point did this eye patch come up, so you have a camera with the lens cap on the whole time.
Yeah, so it makes no sense.
Good job.
But then
They're
he goes
watching
over and holds.
back at the base. They've been watching the feed. It's just black the whole time. They're like, I don't know.
What is he
Is
doing?
there something wrong with it? Does he have the body cam off?
Yeah, it's the body cam.
I don't. Does he have an earpiece in?
I
Can
don't
we tell
like you
him?
being
Can we
able to
tell
see
him
what I
to
do.
reveal it? I don't-
So then he picks up Giara like on the ground. She's dying. She's like, I tried to save you, and he's like, well, not really. You just kind of got stabbed.
She starts babbling.
Man,
honestly.
some of her babbling is
Babbling,
great.
by the way.
Remember long ago, a small step for man.
I fucking stop.
Well, that giant leap is love.
A small step for man, a giant leap for mankind. You know what that leap is? Love.
I was like, just fucking stop it.
And
Which
we
one
have-
of the three writers decided
Yeah.
to put the fucking Neil Armstrong
We
in
start
this
waxing
movie?
philosophical about why man has to always destroy each other, and then she says, "Kiss me now, kiss me with love."
And he's like,
I'm like,
you're kind of bloody though. I don't know, but he does, and then she dies.
Because
right?
if man somehow gets it together again, it's because your love willed it.
And then he says, "You're in for a big surprise, Mr. President." I don't know.
I was like, okay,
Okay.
then she dead is what I write. They apparently fell in love, guys. The whole 5 minutes of screen time they spent together, they
It just
fell
takes a
in
moment,
love.
Any given Sunday.
Yeah, and then we're back at the Alaska base, right? Sopkiw shows
back on
up.
Hoth.
Yeah, he shows up to speak to to our boy Eddie, and he's sick as a fucking dog here. And this is when I start writing my notes. I'm like, did he like eat something that didn't agree with him? Like, what is he
Still
doing?
turning green.
He is. And then all of a sudden he goes, I got
Like you expect to reveal like he gets up and he's been sitting on a toilet this whole time.
This is
They
basically
just
what
built
happens.
the office around the bathroom because he's in such bad shape.
I mean, I'm exaggerating a little bit, but basically what happens is he stands up. He goes, "Yeah, I got like the cancer."
Basically,
Got 3 months.
Yeah, he goes, they told me I got 3 months, so
because
I'm not gonna go
Sopkiw
space.
figured it out and he goes, "You were never slated for a seat on that ship.
He's like, "Nah,
You were giving me yours."
guess you're gonna have to fertilize that tank yourself, Sopkiw."
And this is important because he explains that because of his illness,
Yeah.
he wouldn't be able to withstand the G-force of the rocket taking off. Remember that.
Well, that doesn't matter because as we can see, Bobby, he goes, "All right, good luck, Sopkiw. By the way, this set doubles as a spaceship."
You're already on the rocket.
Because the whole
And
set
away
just
we go.
And here's
Flips
the
up.
thing, though. He says that his body wouldn't be able to withstand the G-force, yet when the rocket takes off, Sopkiw's just like standing there.
Oh yeah,
We're
you
not
know what's
strapped to a seat
Yeah.
or anything. So it's like, how bad are the G's? People are walking around while this thing's
well,
taking off.
Sleeping Beauty's just in a bed.
Yeah,
She's chilling.
She's just there.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, I thought that was when Sopkiw says like you're in for a big surprise, Mr. President. I thought he was like referring to the fact that they're gonna bring like an impregnated fertile woman with, and
Yeah,
so
he
then
never says anything about that.
yeah,
by the way.
but so then when he finds out that Mr. President is giving up like his seat or whatever, like when he figures it out, I think he probably would feel a little bad. Like he's
Also-
probably like, oh, I'm sorry I let that happen.
yeah.
Also, Big Ape took her out of the tube in New York City, where
Yeah.
they specifically said you couldn't do that, or else she's going to be infertile.
It's all right because, yeah.
I mean, everything's fucked, man.
Yeah,
as soon
it's
as
all-
they pull those eggs out, they're going to be.
That's the big
"Well, these are no
surprise."
good. These
Yeah.
eggs are no good.
Oh, and then okay, so now we're on the ship. It's taking off. A guy comes up and he's like, you know, Parzival, Sopkiw, you should be the one to tell her the story. So like this dirty man who is not bathed, he's covered in dirt, he's hairy. He's said 3 lines
You know
this
what, though?
entire
Yeah.
movie. He should be the one to tell
Yeah, he
her.
goes, "Look, she's been asleep for
Look,
20 years, all
Man,
right?"
if there's anything she should look at first,
Yeah. It's your.
it's fucking Sopkiw.
Yeah.
I mean, God, Julie, back me up on this.
I don't know.
Because this guy's like, "Look, we're going to put you up on a fucking poster on the wall, dude." Like,
You're the hero.
yeah. So, yeah, maybe. And
then-
also, Sopkiw kind of looks at me. He's like, "Do I really have to do that? Like, I didn't sign up for. I didn't.
Can
I'm
I
not a
just stay down
storyteller.
here?
man."
I'm doing
Yeah.
okay down here.
Yeah.
You know, I'm a really good twisted metal performer.
He's like, "But you're cool, planting your seed in that big tank, right? With all the eggs in it." And he's like, "Yeah."
How do you
dude,
feel about spending the rest of your days masturbating in a lab?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, not bad.
Hope
Not
you
bad.
got good aim, dude.
Hey, how do you think the other guy got the claw hand? He's been working on it. He wore out an arm trying to help out.
Oh my god.
Oh God, all the ways that could have happened. But so basically, I feel like it, like the robot stretching machine, but
Yeah.
it goes the other way, just
Of
hang
course.
them over the tank.
But this movie, we get a witchery ending.
Oh yeah, Bobby, my child.
Because Sleeping Beauty, as you've been calling her,
Yeah.
suddenly opens her eyes and stares
At Sopkiw.
right
Yeah,
at
this
him.
grimy man
And
hovering
that's when
over
the credits
her.
go.
But she goes, "Oh, like
Oh. Future looks bright.
going to space."
I feel
Space
pregnant.
Mountain or bust, baby. Yeah, my baby. Right
with
at the camera.
with a really hairy baby.
She's gonna have a little Curious George.
Yeah, you imagine
Curious
when they,
George Eastman.
when they get to the planet, they go, "Well, she gave birth to an ape."
And this is a prequel.
Anybody
for
wanna-
Planet of the
Oh
Apes.
my god.
Anybody want to explain? Oh my!
This is how it
happened.
Damn you to hell!
So recommendations, Bobby. We already know yours, obviously.
It's the best.
It's a glowing review.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah,
What do you think?
it's really good. It does get a little long maybe sometimes, but it's worth
I
it. Like
understand
especially in a group, like it's great.
You could 1.5 it if you're watching it by yourself, and you won't miss anything. There's lots of drawn out action.
I'm not gonna have your goddamn blasphemy, Mike.
It's true though. As far as the Hughes speed rating,
You can use this
can
one.
one
and be-
Well,
point-
there's
0.5
not
it.
any really great lines like deliveries that you would miss out if you weren't like getting this.
It's more
sound,
concepts
but
than
it's-
lines.
just more
it's-
baffling plot decisions, to be
Yeah.
honest.
And most of this movie is just like they start to kind of put a toe in the water of a plot line,
And then they're like,
go,
"No."
fuck it, fight.
Yeah. My
Dudes
theory,
just run in and start fighting each other.
My theory is that all 3 screenwriters like wouldn't budge. They were
Yeah.
just like
They
we want-
started fighting.
I want
But we
all
already-
of it in.
But we already established if you open the tube in New York City, she's infertile and everything. Nobody cares. Nobody cares because the ape man needs to fuck her. It's part of the story. Have you not read the last 30 pages? But it doesn't. It just feels like everything they said. And why would Shorty just put himself on screws. It doesn't even make sense. Nobody cares. Nobody cares. You got to find a way to get him out of the movie, and we ran out of bullet squibs. Put yourself in some screws. Yeah, no, it's good. So it's an enjoyable watch.
It's a unanimous
it's
recommendation?
Not like a high recommend, but it's a
Yeah,
lazy
I will
Sunday
be honest.
afternoon.
It doesn't rank as... I wouldn't put it top 3 for post-apocalyptic action movies, but it's definitely a good one.
As far as Sopkiw's body of work on this show, it's the lowest of the 3.
You put it in 3rd?
Oh, yeah. I mean, Dinosaur Valley is
I'd argue,
great.
actually, we've been going in order.
Yeah.
As far as Sopkiw's movies, of the best to the least best.
Counting down to the least best.
Yeah.
What about you, Julie? Have you watched the other 2?
No.
Okay.
Blastfighter.
Compare it to our episode.
But Dinosaur Valley is a classic. So.
Yeah. They're all great so far. I really am a big fan of Michael Sopkiw.
And you're almost out of Sopkiw. So.
Why you gotta bum me out at the end of this episode? I came here to have a good time at Grindbin Studios North. And you're sitting here telling me about how, like, oh, it's almost time for Sopkiw to end. It's almost time for him to sacrifice himself on this show.
So you hear that sound, though? How do
man.
you think Bobby and DeVito would fit into the world of 2019? I got something I just thought of. Okay, while you were rambling about your Sopkiw.
How dare you? You want to go first then, Mike?
Yeah, I was thinking that, you know that professor,
Mm-hmm.
right? And it's 2019. It's been a little time.
Yeah.
Right? I feel like, you saw the inside of that place, very white, right?
Mm-hmm.
You didn't see he's updated a little bit. Yeah, it's Bobby.
Professor
He knew-
Bobby?
He knew.
Professor Hampton?
He knew that one day he was going to be responsible for providing the girl who would repopulate the Earth. So he immediately put her in the straight arrow in that glass tube, which he'd outfit himself with the glass tube, obviously, because he realized like the joints weren't working. So if you just put her in a tube and knock her out, it works, And so when the bomb hit, he drove to New York City, hit underground, and he goes, 20 years from now, a man like me, a fertile man like me, will restart the race. And he saw a picture of Sopkiw, and he goes, just one day, hopefully, he comes here. And he was just waiting down there for decades. And he made his friend Shorty and everything. And I feel like Bobby, he's responsible. But the problem is...
And I can see why he would need a short friend.
Yeah, well, here's the problem. He locked her in that tube for 20 years, right? Mm-hmm. That wasn't her dad. When they bring her up to space, all of a sudden, they're all eating their meal, right, at the table. And then all of a sudden, Sleeping Beauty starts going nuts, and she gets up and she gets on the table, and a fucking orange poop just busts out of her fucking chest. And Bobby Alien comes out and goes, "Anybody want to have a joint?" And just runs away as a little alien. And the rest of the movie is Sopkiw.
It's Alien with Sopkiw and a little Bobby.
Kill a Bobby xenomorph.
That's amazing.
I love that. I love it. That's great. I just thought of one that, okay, so in the beginning, they were having that, like, quote-unquote race, demo derby thing.
Oh, man.
The race.
In order to win some, chicken license to kill or whatever, or slave babes, right? So I'm just picturing the straight arrow all decked out with, like, spikes and shit. And they're going up in a race against these other, pirate guys or whatever. And they're like, just all ready to fight because they really want to win that slave girl.
Going up against future
They
dude?
want to win that horny slave girl.
They want to win a wife.
Yeah.
And they filled the waterbed full of acid.
Yeah.
Oh, man. That,
Ooh,
where
they
the
got
back door swings open and the bed flops out at somebody?
Yeah, and the toaster can lean this way and shoot out projectiles.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
good.
Metal toast.
Yeah,
Oh,
they're
they've
well
won many
prepared.
times. Flower knows.
Yeah, she was like,
And she knows DeVito's an android.
Bobby, what do you think?
So I envision, so the ship gets to Earth too. It touches down, and suddenly all these children run up to greet the ship. And they're like, what? I didn't know this planet was already inhabited. And they notice that all of these children have the same hair.
Oh, no.
And they look off in the distance, and there's a big statue of two figures standing on the roof of a van. And they just hear in the distance over loudspeakers, "Met a girl." It's a very Twilight Zone ending. It's
my God.
Planet of the Bobbies.
And Sopkiw just gets to his knees and he goes,
You finally did it. You blew it up.
Well, thanks again for joining us on another episode of The Grindbin. You can find us at grindhousefilm.com, Twitter at GrindPod. We're on Facebook, Instagram. all over the place. You can subscribe to us on iTunes, rate and review us, please. 5 stars if
Please
you
do help that algorithm.
Yep.
Tell a friend about us.
Tell the friend, yeah, for sure. Julie, you got anything to plug here at the end?
I got nothing.
That's
Well,
all right.
thank you for joining
Yeah,
us.
thank you for helping us
Oh,
kick off
thanks for
2019. I
having
think we
me
kicked it off
here.
damn well.
Yeah. And hopefully you'll come back. We'll record some more.
We
and,
definitely would love to have you back. You've been great.
Aw, shucks.
And Bobby, you got anything else for us?
I got nothing.
Oh,
You know,
join our Patreon
2019,
for-
same as 2018.
Yeah, join our Patreon for as little as $2 a month, and we're doing weekly mini bins on there, so weekly bonus shows.
We primarily cover strange television.
Yeah, Strange Television. We're going to be doing some more regular features on there now that the show is more regular. Bobby just ordered an entire series of Freddy's Nightmares, so I'm sure we'll be
You didn't
covering
already
it.
have that.
I did, and I gifted it to a friend years ago as he
Aw.
moved away.
And Bobby's
you
not the
sweet.
type of guy that goes, remember that thing I let you borrow?
I couldn't bring myself to go like, hey, I want to cover more of this on my podcast. Can you mail this back to me?
The old, oh yeah, no, it wasn't a gift. I was letting you borrow it.
I can't believe you took it with you out of
Yeah.
state. But yeah, I tracked it down. I know our previous Freddy's Nightmares episode was very well received, so I think we're gonna go back to that because there's a lot to work with. There's some
As I've
some
called
guest
you
stars who appeared on the show.
off this podcast, you're a Freddy apologist.
I am.
So anything Freddy, Bobby will say it's good, even if it's abysmal. So.
It's absolutely true.
He
So
will
you can't trust him at all.
No, he will defend it to the death. Like I can imagine him being on that robot torture rack, and they're like, "Just tell us how bad Nightmare 6 was." No,
It's great.
You just didn't get it. You know what? Pull it tighter. Bobby, stab that rat.
Hey, Bobby, I got the money.
Yeah, I made the tea! But you're